The Opie and Anthony Show on XM 202, featuring Opie, Anthony, and James Norton.
In the world of radio shock jocks, the biggest are Opie and Anthony.
These people say shocking things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice. Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio bad boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony.
Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony.
Charles Nelson Riley takes it up the blank. The blank. Could I call a friend and maybe get some aid with this? Oh, well.
This is where entertainment is going.
I'm starting to suspect my parents are swingers.
I think your dad's just a watcher. He just sits in the corner nude and all sorts of horrific things are happening to your mom.
They are sick freaks. Don't you ever do that. I understand the concept of the syllable. You don't have to beat it into me with your belt.
It's time for people to understand these are words. If you don't like them, turn the dial.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Hi. What is it, Thursday?
It's Thursday, yes.
And that means it's...
phone call Thursday.
I had a few issues with Phone Call Thursday yesterday during our big promo.
It's Phone Call Thursday. It's Fun Fact Thursday.
Fun Fact Thursday.
This is what radio has become.
Right.
And we're going to get a little saucy and do Perv News.
Perv News.
Perv News Thursday.
Oh.
Yes.
How much Perv News is there? There are a lot of Perv News?
Yeah, we collect them.
Yeah. I just got a big thumbs up.
I think we got 3 or 4 today.
Good. Perv News. That I like.
You like Perv News?
I'm still on the fence with Phone Call Thursday. I don't even understand the concept. We take calls every day of the week. Why is Thursday special with Phone Call Thursday?
Well, we take a couple extra calls.
A couple of extras?
We allow, like, Cleveland and, I don't know, Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
To call the show on Thursday.
Good for them. Participate.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Welcome.
The ONA virus spreading across America. Phone number 877-212-5762. Yes, Jimmy.
Well, no, nothing. Just the email that Steve sent about our invite.
Oh.
As a show.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of emails overnight.
Got my friends invited to a black tie event.
Oh. Do you own a black tie suit?
Is that a tux?
Yeah.
No.
No.
If you get married or die, I show up in the same outfit.
An Aussie shirt.
I have one suit. One Joseph Abood, whatever his name is. Foreign man, good clothes.
Whatever his name is.
I can't pronounce his name, but I will say he has nice clothes, and I wear them to everything I have. One suit.
Uh-oh.
One suit for every occasion. Well,
look out.
What happened?
Watch it. I don't know if Tom's going to come in and smack Jimmy in the head.
Oh, why? I got the plug wrong.
Where do we begin today?
It's also Douche Thursday.
Yeah, I guess there's some bitter people out there. I don't know.
Oh,
what can I tell you?
Bitter people.
I got a guy a job. It didn't work out. He gets fired, and now he's attacking me personally.
He's attacking all of us.
Well, he's been
attacking all of us.
Well, now he's decided, because I haven't really like written him back or call him. No, he's been attacking me all along, Anthony.
Just figured he's
and now he's decided to throw everybody into the mix.
Just figured I wrote it off as he's bitter. I
was going to write him back and just say, I get it, you're bitter. It didn't work out. What could I tell you?
Yeah.
But why are you killing me? I was the one that went to Tom at the time and said, yeah, he would make a great PD for this place.
Right.
It is a known fact I got him the job.
Yeah, Opie got him the job. Oh, don't get any more people jobs. Please.
I get under people's skin to the point that they just feel like they have to just kill me after they, leave this place.
Well, we're talking about douche John Manelli.
Yeah, John.
Former friend, former phony backstabbing friend, John Manelli, who is now on the complete douche list. What an ass this guy is. When he was here as program director of our station in New York, when it was the Free FM, when it was called Free FM before it went back to what it is now, K-Rock, where it's us in the morning, music the rest of the day. It was one of these Free FM stations where it's us in the morning talking and then more talk shows all throughout the day and night and talk. So we had no PD at the time when we came in, and a lot of suggestions were going around. Tom consulted us and asked for some suggestions, and Ope said, John Manelli, good guy, knows talk radio. We have a good rapport with the guy. Bring him in. And Tom's like, all right, I'll put him on the list. We'll think about it. And that's what happened. They hired John Manelli to be the program director of Free FM here in New York City.
And we go back years with John Manelli.
Yeah, he wrote for the Post.
He always wrote about the show favorably when he wrote for the Post.
We give him little inside scoops on things that were happening, things like that.
And when Howard had his problems with John Manelli, and it led to him being fired by the Post, we gave him a voice to trash Howard and speak his mind.
Right.
We've always been there for him. And it didn't work out with Free FM.
No.
And he thinks that it's so weird where this is coming from, because he thinks we trashed Free FM when this went back to music.
Yeah.
We really didn't trash Free FM when this place went back to music. We're very happy that it went back to music. I personally think if there's less talk shows on a radio station, that gives you a chance to succeed as a show. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But we supported a lot of the shows that were in place. Matter of fact, we got suspended for basically sticking up for JV and Elvis when they went through their troubles.
Right. Exactly.
We were supporting Ron and Fez, who are really good friends of ours. One of the few radio shows that we get along with.
We hated the fact that in New York, Ron and Fez were doing a show here on K-Rock, what it is now, K-Rock. But because they went to music, they had to go. Unfortunately, I love those guys, but it's part of the business. The fact that this guy doesn't seem to understand the radio business is mind-boggling to me. When a station flips format, regardless of your opinion, there are people that are thinking that not enough time was given to the format, to the talk format, that the people in charge didn't have enough power to put people in or take shows out or something. Regardless of all of that, it's radio. It's this business. We can be gone tomorrow. We've always said that. It almost happened recently. A lot of things happen. It's a stupid business. And then when John Manelli gets let go because they changed formats, he's not a rock music program director. He's a talk guy. He gets let go. Now, as a courtesy, the guy was allowed to come in that last day during the flip, go into the conference room where all the staff of the station here and Tom Chiusano and everybody were talking about how the station will flip, the stunting that went on before it, and gave John Manelli such props. It was amazing. Tom just stood there and talked about what a great job John did. Unfortunately, we're going in another direction, but he did a really good job, blah, blah, blah. And everything seemed fine. Well, since that day, he's done nothing but bash the crap out of this program, out of the Opie and Anthony show. Didn't have the courage or whatever to face us and actually let all this out when he worked for us. When his job was to critique the show, he barely opened his yap. But now that he's not working, he sends email after email that we haven't even responded to. It's like, who cares? But now this last one is like 3 pages of just this bitter sarcasm. It's all this like sarcasm and just he titled it his final critique. Well, I hope so, because you can really stop listening to the show anytime you want there.
If we suck so bad, why are you listening every day?
Yeah.
Why are you staying up at night? I know he records the show and type out these emails and I think it was at 1:30 in the morning when he sent this one. And he's one of these guys, he hides behind his computer. It's like, we do everything face to face. He has my phone numbers. If he had a problem with me personally, he could have certainly called my cell phone. He did in the past.
Yeah.
You know, he could call the radio show, but instead he hides behind a keyboard and is all brave and writing out what's wrong with the radio show and taking all these weird shots at every single person in this room right now.
Mm-hmm.
No respect whatsoever for this guy.
And if
it's so weird. I get myself in situations where I think I know people, and then I realize, wow, did I make a huge mistake?
That's why. Let me tell you something I learned so early on in the stupid ass radio business. Management is never your friend. They are management. You can be friendly with them, which I am. I'm friendly with Tom. I like Tom. I'm friendly with Eric Logan, probably more so than any other management guy that I've ever worked for, because we've gone out and had some drinks and stuff like that. But always in the back of my head is the guy is management. He'll do his best for this program, but if push comes to shove, you must remember they are management and you are the employee. Period. No one's going to be sticking their neck out or their job on the line when push comes to shove. You'll be out the door. You'll be reprimanded. You'll be suspended. You'll be fired. Whatever it is, management's here. We are here. And there's no big socializing. There's no friends. I don't go over their house. I don't I keep things very, very light with them. That's the way to do it, because in the end, you're going to get someone like John Douche Manelli, who comes across like your pal when he's talking to you, shaking hands. You're getting the little chat after the show. Hey guys, how you doing? In a meeting, he'll talk about issues with the program, which is fine, but not like this. Until he doesn't work anymore, until he doesn't have a job anymore, and then we're the asses, and we suck. And everything we're doing is apparently wrong, bad. You want to get into reading this?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's a scream.
It's just amazing.
See if you can pick out the sarcasm. It's hard. You really have to know sarcasm to pick it out. It doesn't come right at you and smack you in the face.
I have a feeling he wanted us to go down with the ship.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
And unfortunately, we didn't believe in the ship enough to go down with the ship. I mean, he couldn't. In all fairness to John Manelli, he personally hated some of the shows on the air and wanted to make some changes. Yep. He didn't like that JV and Elvis were after us. He wanted them in Afternoon Drive. He hated the radio chick. He was trying to get the radio chick fired. We stayed out of all that, obviously.
Yep.
But he couldn't get any of this stuff done. He also said if JV and Elvis got fired, he would quit immediately, which never, ever happened.
Yeah, that didn't happen. What happened there?
And we stood up as much as we could for some of the shows around here. We supported Ron and Fez. We didn't know much about Nick DiPaolo, but we liked what he was doing with his radio show, and we wish him nothing but the best and think that he should get another shot at doing this.
I think Nick will do great on radio somewhere else.
Doing this talk format. And we pretty much almost got fired for, sticking up for JV and Elvis because we thought it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Besides that, it was a complete disaster. It just wasn't working because he wasn't allowed to make the moves he wanted to make.
Yeah, we'll be honest.
And the station just wasn't tracking. The last trend, because he'll get into details, the station actually did pretty well. But it was 1 month out of many that weren't too good whatsoever, and it was still the station still wasn't in any position to continue as a talk station. Those are the facts. So when the format changed and we survived, we were happy. We were happy to see what the next thing would be for us. We think that us in Mornings with Music is a much better fit at this point.
And I guess John would have wanted us to just throw ourselves on our swords and sacrifice ourselves, not have a job here, not stay on?
No.
What kind of point is that making?
No, I mean, we're excited that we're the morning show here in New York. But we're also on another 20-some-odd stations across America, and we're on XM satellite radio. So, our world is a lot bigger than John Manelli's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Greg, he does address it to you, by the way.
Yeah.
Even though he bashes everybody in here, but it's addressed to you. I've been listening, and I thought I'd give you one last critique for old time's sake. I'll keep it real simple, like you like them. Ready?
Oh, why is Tom saying not to read the Manelli email?
Holy Jesus Christ.
Why is he saying...
Why? It's an email to Opie. It says Greg.
I said the answer I was given was it was a private conversation, and unless something shows up in the papers, to stay off of it.
Wait, what? No, this is silly. This is stupid. It's Tom, why is this not? It's an email to Greg. It says Greg. He's sharing we're sharing a correspondence by John Manelli.
It was a private correspondence, right?
It doesn't say keep this private. It does not say keep this private. It's an email. If you get a letter, you should be able to read it. If you get an email, unless it says do not read this on the air.
Unless there are other things in place that...
I got it. I got the same email. It was CC'd to me.
I understand.
You got to make me understand this, because I really want to read this to show what an ass this guy is.
Then I need to talk to you off the air.
Oh, my God. This is why this place sucks.
Oh, the lawyers get involved with everything.
No, Tom, F you.
No, F you.
This is interesting stuff for our listeners. F you. F you. We've been reading emails for years and have never had a problem. Never. There's nothing personal in here. It's all about our radio show. It's a critique of our radio show. We should be able to read this on the air.
It wasn't.
You might as well do 92-minute music blocks in the morning. That'll be safe and keep everybody's jobs.
No,
F you. We can read this on the air. We've read 1 million of these on the air over the years, and never had a problem.
What is there to be afraid of if we read this? A lawsuit from John against the company or us or something?
We've made an agreement.
With who?
Him.
Okay.
To not disparage.
I never read the agreement, and I didn't sign the agreement. I never heard about an agreement. Perhaps if an agreement was made, that we maybe should have been informed.
Well, now I'm informing you.
Well, this is a little late.
Well, because I didn't know you were going to take a private email and turn it into a public conversation.
It actually, to me, it becomes our property when he emails it to us. I would like you, if you could,
sure, I'd be happy to
get in touch with Lehrman.
Sure.
And without throwing any bias in.
Gotcha.
Get the information we need.
I got it.
Okay.
You need say no more.
I really want to read this.
Okay.
I assume, and my take on this, and I'm no lawyer, I understand, is that it is our property as an email that hasn't been... If there was a note attached on the bottom, do not read this on the air, this is a private correspondence between blah, blah, blah.
I got it. I absolutely, I get it. You may be right. I got it. Now I want to do some homework, okay? And I can do it quickly.
Okay.
All right?
Very good. By the way, disparaging.
Yes.
That had to go both ways, I would assume.
Yes.
Okay. And that would include...
Doesn't include private emails.
Okay. Does it include postings on message boards?
It may.
All right. Because I never responded to his trashing he gave us on the New York radio message board.
I didn't know that.
So perhaps that's a little disparaging.
I was unaware there was one. So that may change things.
Yeah. I could say the guy's an ass, in my humble opinion. I could say I perceive him as being very two-faced. Go check with with our friends, the lawyers.
Absolutely got you.
Because as I see this, it's now our property to read. It is as if somebody sent us an email, because that's exactly what it was. There was no stipulations on there as to whether it could or couldn't be made public. Okay. That's how I see it.
I understand perfectly, and I promise that will be done post haste.
I know you're, safe guy.
Well,
I understand.
I'm a man, but I live up to our agreements, and I have to make sure the company lives up to its agreements, and that, in this case, may or may not include you. I need to find that out.
Okay, check on that.
Yes, I will, sir.
Please.
Yes, sir.
And it sure reinforces a few things he writes in his email. Yeah. I would definitely appreciate if you would.
I will, as quickly as I possibly can. Make those phone calls.
Thank you.
My pleasure. May I have a copy?
Oh, please take it. It's It makes great reading, whether it can be read on the air or off. It's fantastic.
I'd say that rabbit's already kind of out of the hat here anyway. But
yeah,
it's a matter now. It becomes just a matter of degree.
What was he trying to taunt us?
I don't know.
Why didn't he call? Do you have his number?
I do.
We have his number.
Yeah.
Get him on the air. That's what I say. Get him on the air. If he wants to get on the air and discuss this like a man, then he should do that. And we get the...
That's adding to the conversation.
No, Ope's very angry.
Yes. Good morning, James.
Hello, Tom.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay. I'm having BlackBerry difficulties. This is probably not the time to mention them. But
who's your supplier? No, don't mention that.
But, you didn't get the email?
The suit plug was just fine, by the way.
What's that?
The suit plug was just fine. No.
Wow! Look at the messages coming in. Leave, Tom. Tom, get out of there. Yeah. You're ruining the show,
Am I
Tom.
Dismissed?
Well, according to Pal Talk, you should have been dismissed minutes ago.
All right. In that case, I will leave.
Yeah, please get in touch with them.
Tail not between my teeth, not between my legs.
No,
but
they wouldn't fit between your teeth with the braces.
Boy. Oh my God, the tongue is hurting so bad today.
We could discuss that for 3 hours. That'll make good radio.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, who knows? I'll be back.
What does "go" with 18 exclamation points behind it mean?
I think it may mean
Kevin from Connecticut.
No, remember, he goes when he wants to, so we'll wait.
I'm leaving now.
And he'll leave when he wants to. He told me that already.
F Tom. That's from Doc Hayden. Tom, you may leave now.
Yes.
I can't even read that one. Easy, Opie.
Yeah, calm down. I mean,
it's not your show, Tom.
I know it's not my show. Believe me. Let me go get to work here. How about that?
Tom is the new Ruin the Bit guy. Leave a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
Tom needs herpes of the ass. The listeners are really rallying behind you, Tom.
Yes.
Well, that I can't even say either. It's that something of Opie's should be flung into your face.
Is that a multiple MIGs reference?
Right, it is. Oh, Jesus.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
John.
All right, here we go. John.
Yeah, I stayed up later than usual. I was keyed up last night.
Did you, is there a problem? Let's start right off the bat. Is there a problem with you, with us reading that email critique that you had sent us?
No, I don't care. You can trash me all you want. I'm a believer in total free speech.
Okay.
All right. Then I apologize, boys.
All right.
Opie, I certainly apologize. Sorry for ruining your morning, but...
Are you ready to leave yet?
Yes, I'm ready to leave right now.
I'm just wondering.
Okay.
All right. Let's have a nice discussion about this situation. John, got your email, read through it. Can't say I agree with it. And I can't say that I understand where you're coming from with all of this. When you worked here, we didn't really get the double barrel critique like you're giving in this email, which leads me to believe there's a bit of sour grapes and bitterness going on here.
There is definitely sour grapes and bitterness, although, as you may recall, a lot of the critiques I wrote when I was there, Opie didn't like them either. But they were not as harsh as this one.
First of all, John, that's not true. I didn't like everything you had to say, and we've had conversations that went past emails, and I told you what I liked about your critiques and what I didn't like about your critiques.
Yeah, well, in my view, the show has declined even more, and the reason that I am really annoyed,
did you see the last trend? It was the best trend we've had since coming back to New York.
It
was through the roof, John.
Good.
It's not good. It was a hell of a lot better than all the other shows you were supposed to be the program director for, right?
Those were brand new shows.
No, they weren't. Radio Chick was here way before us.
My show. As you just
and JV and Elvis were here way before us, right?
That was not my show, but I was working on it.
We were by far the most successful show on Free FM. By far.
But we were near where they were.
And John, why are you trashing me? Do you realize I got you the gig in the end? How about a little professional respect? And I didn't play into your game. You've been writing me these emails off and on since you got fired, and I left them alone, didn't I? The only reason we're bringing this up today because you got under Anthony's skin.
Yeah, well, that was the intent.
Why? What's the point? We get it. You're bitter. You lost your gig.
You want me to explain why I'm bitter?
Yeah, because the company didn't allow you to do what you wanted to do. So leave us out of it.
No,
and we didn't.
No, that's a different.
And we didn't trash. I know where you're going. When this turned back to rock, we didn't trash Free FM.
Yeah, you did. But
no, we didn't. We supported Ron and Fez. We supported JV and Elvis because one of the things you bring up in the email is like we're not rebels anymore and we're playing it safe. Do you realize that we got suspended from XM for talking about JV and Elvis technically, and that we almost got suspended from this station as well?
Look, XM makes a lot of decisions that I think are dumb. So, and I don't have anything to do with them. What really annoys me is I figure you guys cost me 2 sweet gigs now. All right? The consulting thing at NAW because of St. Pat's, but I understand that. In this case, I believe if you had performed up to what you can do, the station would have had more than enough momentum.
Oh, you're going to blame the whole thing on us? You're a hack, John. You're a hack. We're doing just fine here and growing every day. You're a hack.
No.
You are a hack. You're going to turn around and blame your failures on us? Why don't you take it out on who you're really pissed off, Tom and the company, because they wouldn't allow you to make the moves you wanted to make. We had these conversations. You wanted JV and Elvis in Afternoon Drive. You wanted to move Ron and Fez down, and you wanted the Radio Chick gone. That's the reason that this place didn't work. Don't blame us.
That's why I'm upset at you.
Don't blame us.
You know, the angrier you get tells me there's more truth in my memo.
No, because I've had it with you. You're a two-faced ass.
Yeah, well.
And you're also one of these guys, passive-aggressive, hiding behind your keyboards. Hiding behind your keyboard in the middle of the night. Have nothing better to do but listen to our show in the middle of the night and then type out these ridiculous, psychotic emails about our show.
Format change for 2 weeks and didn't say anything to me. You hid. Why did you sneak around that way?
I didn't hide. I didn't sneak around anywhere.
Yeah, you did. You knew about it in advance. You didn't say anything.
I knew about it probably the same time you did.
Oh, give me a break.
Probably.
No, probably. Okay.
Is that, John, let me just turn it around a little bit. You've been in this radio business. When a format is going to be changed or people are going to be let go and you know about it, did you then go around and tell that talent that they were going to be let go, or did you wait until D-Day? Be honest.
I didn't always tell most of the time I did tell the talent because I trusted them. Sometimes if I didn't tell the talent, I wouldn't tell them.
A lot of times your management would tell you something until you don't say anything because that's how phony radio works. I understand this. That's the way it works.
Most places I programmed, I did what I wanted.
John, I'm just trying to get to the point here of sometimes when a format is being changed, you don't tell the people. You don't tell the air staff. You don't. That's how it is. And then people get blown out. It's the way radio works.
Yeah, well, I kind of think radio could work better.
Well, so do I, believe me, especially when you're on the receiving end of it. But the truth of the matter is, if somebody knows that there's going to be a format change, it's not a license to go telling everybody that that's what's going to happen. Because you know as well as I do that contracts are involved, there's legal issues that are involved that keeps you from saying anything about program changes.
That's a minor point, Anthony.
It's not a minor point. That's the whole issue that you just brought up.
I was your biggest fan for years, including in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows better than me how good you guys can be, and nobody knows better than me that you're not even close to that.
You know something? I'll even try to listen to that and grab a hold of it for a little bit. But let me also explain this. Do you agree that radio has changed so drastically these days that it is truly an effort to reinvent your show, to do new things, to switch it around so you can stay in the environment and still be successful when you were doing one thing and now you, because of rules and regulations, and you have to then work around it. You have to agree with that.
Not in your case.
In our case, we can do the same shows we did on NEW and have a job longer than a day?
No. You see, you missed the point of all those memos I wrote when I was there, which is that's not what made you guys what you are. What you were was riffing on the news and stuff in life.
See, that's
what the people want to hear. If you do,
oh my God, that was
fine.
But
aren't we?
That was one of the things our listeners liked. They also liked the other stuff, but you personally did not like the other stuff.
John, we were also doing that. What are we doing on a daily basis? We're riffing on the news and talking about our personal lives. That's pretty much what we do on this show.
You're not doing it with the pizzazz and I mean, Anthony, you never do hardly any voices anymore, hardly any sound effects. You just don't. You're not on your toes. And Opie, you used to executive produce the show at NEW. You can't hardly be bothered, looking at the newspapers now.
Looking at the newspaper, executive produce the show.
Right. Okay.
I'm not.
I didn't just
see. I
buy
can't
papers this morning.
I can't understand that either. And as far as a lot of that old material, we can't even play that on this show. The Mike Tyson bit. Let's take that as an example of something that was very popular in the NEW days, but not now. Do you realize how much of that was would be considered now racist humor that could get us thrown off the air, sexist? A lot of that material wasn't just the impression and the brilliance that is me that was behind it. It's the content which now is being prohibited because of interest groups and corporate fear or whatever it is. That's just the world we live in, John, and it makes it more difficult to do radio, not impossible, and that is what we're doing. We're working the show to fit in to terrestrial radio in this day and age. If at some point someone else gets into office, it lightens up a little. You'll see the Chinese delivery guy character I used to do come back. Mike Tyson's character will be able to come back and do the sexist, racist stuff that we used to do with that impression. It's a different world, John.
Well, I don't understand. The richer people get, the more timid they get.
It's not richer or timid. It's about keeping our job, John. It's about there's a line that has to be straddled. It's called putting on entertaining radio and keeping your job. If you do both, it doesn't mean you've sold out on either. We're not selling out and doing a piss poor show because we're listening to the man. We're keeping our jobs and adjusting our show accordingly to keep it funny and entertaining, yet not get thrown off the goddamn air or thrown out the door. What's wrong with that?
Barely keeping our job. We just
barely
went through a 30-day suspension.
Thank you. We almost got fired a couple of weeks ago.
Satellite radio.
It was in the paper and on the news for 2 weeks straight. Did you miss it? I mean, for God's sake, we almost got fired.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know why they did what they did. They made a story over there out of nothing.
Well,
it wouldn't have been a story until they made it a story.
Well, believe me, we've had chats about that too, and we're talking about your email though. I'm just trying to explain, and I thought you, of all people, would understand what's going on in radio these days.
It's like you've given up. It's like you're being almost petulant children by saying, well, if we can't do anything, we just won't do anything.
Given up. You've missed a lot of the conversations that take place on and off the air between Opie and Tom. That is barely giving up, believe me. If Opie had a gun.
That full hour you spent yesterday with that animal rights lady was entertaining.
Marge from the Little Shelter is pretty much a character on the show now, John. It's not just an animal rights lady.
Unfortunate because she agrees with you. You poke at her and she laughs. I mean, where's the fun in that?
If I have to explain funny and why that's funny to you, but I'll give it a shot. She's a woman that works at an animal shelter.
Yeah, I know who she is.
Okay, well, I'm just recapping for the audience. That's kind of what has to be done also.
Yes,
she's
do that.
a woman that works at the Little Shelter out on Long Island. She loves animals. She adores animals. And the fun factor in conversing with her is the fact that we talk about brutalizing animals, and it makes her very uncomfortable. There is a certain cringe factor there when she's talking about trying to get Viagra for a female dog to help its heart problem, and we're offering her money to punch the dogs in the face. I found that funny.
Yeah, it would be funny if she got all excited and shocked and hung up and what have you and had a protest. But she just says, no, we can't do that. It's lazy.
He's insane.
It's not lazy. She's not on every day. Every so often we have her on, and I find her very entertaining, funny. She's a real person. She's not a radio character. Sometimes she does very well on the show. Sometimes it's what it is. That's part of what the show has always been. It's real.
Why did you want Ben Kingsley?
Why did we want Ben Kingsley? I don't know. Perhaps an Oscar winner. I understand. Perhaps as far as you think he's not in the demo, I don't think he's in the demo as far as what we're doing, as far as shock radio goes. But perhaps an Oscar winner would be an interesting guest to have on for a segment.
He's still making movies, and the latest movie that he's in does fall into the demo we're trying to reach.
Yeah,
there's your answer.
Yet. Nobody knows what this movie
There's your answer. He's promoting it. That's why you have these guys on the show. His movie hits tomorrow, Friday.
All of your listeners know what I'm saying.
All right, some of them do. I don't disagree with you. There are probably some listeners that are like, yeah, John's right.
Read that memo and let them decide what they believe.
Well, okay. All right.
I don't care what you say about me. You can trash me every which way, everything you hate about me. I don't care what you say. I believe in free speech.
So do we. That's why, we're not keeping you off the air or keeping you from saying what you want to say.
So you guys ought to be getting these politically correct tight asses on the air and giving them hell on earth to pay back for what they've done to this...
Like who? You think maybe having Al Sharpton on the show would be a good idea?
Yeah, and trash him.
Well, that's probably not a good idea. Look what happened to Imus.
That's because Imus said a stupid thing. You're clever enough to get around that.
I would love to. Let me tell you something. I would love to debate Reverend Al, but it's a landmine. It's a landmine. The black interest groups have put a lot of pressure on radio these days, John. It's the way it is right now. Maybe that'll lighten up in a while. Lighten up.
Are you gonna? Were you planning to talk about Juneteenth today?
Absolutely. I was talking about it in the office. You should have heard the racial epithets coming out of my mouth. Can't use them on the air.
Well, no, and you shouldn't. You do that, and you never did.
No, but of course Juneteenth. We were going to talk about that rioting. The fact that the news had to say 4 times that Juneteenth, this celebration of the Emancipation Proclamation by blacks all over the country, the news had to mention 4 times that the actual Juneteenth celebration was peaceful. It was afterwards that 1,000 or 2,000 black people were rioting in the streets, turning over cars and pulling people out and punching them in the face. Of course we were going to discuss that. It's on the list. We talk about the news, John, every day. We riff about the news and our life.
It's sporadic.
I've gotten into the past few weeks alone numerous occasions of bringing up stories of growing up in California and my father and how awful the upbringing was. Well, that's what we do on a daily basis.
Not on a daily basis. Not often enough, Anthony.
I don't agree with you on that, John. I really don't. I think on a daily basis we do that. We have fun. We have the comics in to comment on the news. We have people like Marge on, who's just, I find Marge entertaining. Whether you do or not, I think that's a taste issue. And I think, again, a little sour grapes. I think you're looking with a very overcritical eye now because you're not really in our camp anymore, are you, John?
I am totally in your camp. I just want to get you back.
We don't want you in our camp if you're going to write these sarcastic emails in the middle of the night, John. You could have. Know what I have no respect for? The fact that you wrote these emails instead of just giving us a call on the phone. It's passive aggressive, something that Jimmy completely hates, and that's exactly what you've been doing with these emails. Passive aggressive, dripping with sarcasm. This doesn't help us. You're trying to knock us down a few notches, and you're not going to do it.
I did do it.
You're not going to do it.
And by the way, I'm not passive-aggressive. I'm aggressive.
We got you. You're not aggressive, John. Anyone that hides behind a keyboard in the middle of the night and sends emails is not aggressive. An aggressive person would have called our radio show and got into it, not us calling you. You would have called our cell phones personally. You would have showed up on the front stoop of the radio station. That's aggressive. What you did is certainly not aggressive.
Listen, Greg.
Oh, okay. Use my real name.
You knew about the change and wouldn't tell me. Considering I probably wouldn't even seen you on the last day if I didn't go into the studio, considering I never heard friggin' word one from you after, why am I going to rush to call you about it?
I don't need you to call me, but if you had a problem with me, then that's what people do that are aggressive. They don't hide behind emails. That's the point I'm making, John. And for you to blame you not getting anything done at this station on the fact that we didn't do well with ratings is completely insane. Because the shows you did have control with were not really tracking, were they?
What?
The shows you had complete control with were not tracking, were they?
The ones I put in were. Look at Ron and Fez. Look at Dick DiPaolo.
Yeah.
By the way, look at the trend next week.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you right now, you're going to see great Ron and Fez, and you're going to see another uptick in the mid.
Yeah, Ron and Fez were doing great. We never deny the fact that Ron and Fez were doing great.
Yeah, well, I put them on.
And we're going to have a horrible trend, John?
No, I don't know. You guys...
We were way, way past what the station was doing. So for you to sit there and say you're going to blame us on your firing is ridiculous.
So way down from where they were last summer.
They're not way down from last summer. Now you're talking about stuff that we got to sit down and decipher. They're not way down from last summer. They're not way down from last. No, they're not. They're just not.
Everybody came back, rushed back to hear you, and you didn't deliver the show they remembered.
No, that's not true, John. Or we wouldn't be here.
I told you that 100 times.
We wouldn't be here. We're an expensive show. If that was the truth, they would have fired us. They could save a lot of money. You know how this works. We're a very expensive show. We're a very expensive show. They would just get rid of us, save a lot of money, put a guy in here to spin tunes or what have you. There's a reason why we're still here.
No,
we still have a value to the company.
They would have to replace you on a whole bunch of stations. And like me, they knew you were turning around. We were making good progress this year. And then I just think it starting almost with the XM thing, I thought you guys went south again.
Starting with the XM thing? What are you talking about?
When XM, suspended you.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that you guys basically said, who needs it? Forget it.
Wow, a lot of people said that we never sounded better, so that's opinion.
Yeah, well, people are going to tell you don't sound so good?
Yeah, they have. They have, yeah.
Like who? Who said it to your face?
John, are you drinking right now? I heard
Mountain Dew.
I heard clinking of ice.
Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were drinking.
No, I very rarely drink.
You
Okay.
better be careful.
Watching out for you.
You don't want to get sued at.
I didn't say. I said, is he drinking? I didn't say he's a drunk. I said, is he drinking?
Well, if you're drinking at 6:30 in the morning, it's a little bit.
I've done it. I thought maybe you could have been up all night.
I actually am. I have been.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, John, I wish you the best. I'll take the high road. I wish you the best. I don't know what to tell you. I did think you were the right person for the job, and I still do, but it didn't work out. So, good luck, whatever you do next.
Yeah, well, I would say the same to you.
All right. I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree.
I hate that phrase. And
yeah,
so do
see,
you.
if you knew the show, that's kind of a running gag on the show.
Yeah, but
whenever people really aren't seeing eye to eye whatsoever, you just cop out by saying we'll have to agree to disagree.
Right.
It's a bit. All right, there, John.
I should think you should read the memo and let the listeners decide.
All right.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, John.
Bye.
Here's his memo. We pretty much ran through it on the air right there, talking. He's unbelievable.
This business just blows. It just blows.
It really does. Hoofa.
It just blows. You get Tom rushing in here to prevent good radio.
Let me tell you what this is. It's a balancing act. You're spinning plates when you're doing radio. It's not a job that you come in, do what you want, and walk out the door. It wasn't even at NEW. If you remember at NEW, we were constantly at odds, yelling, screaming, trying to get things through. And as we got more popular, more things were taken away because we were on the radar, as they said. That continues to happen, not only with the FCC, unfortunately, but with interest groups. People will get you in trouble. That's just the way it is. And you have to ride a very narrow line between doing an entertaining show and getting fired. The show we used to do is the Get Fired show. We're still doing it. We almost got fired. It starts with an F. We almost got fired. It's a very hard thing to do the show we do and keep your job. That's why there's so few shows like this left. That's why they had to call us back to this friggin' company. Do you think they wanted to hire the Opie and Anthony show? We screwed them years ago. They don't like us. But they had to. There's no other show to put on. Howard left, and there's us. Who else are you going to get? So we're trying to do an entertaining show, which I absolutely believe we're doing. I love working with these two guys. There's nothing else to do but do the best show we can do and keep the job. We can get fired today. Believe me, it's easy. Watch. One word and we're fired. But he doesn't seem to understand that. There was, like I said, I'll wrap it up. His email here with his critiques are a lot more biased than they were when he was working with us. And all I can attribute that to is a bit of bitterness, sour grapes, whatever you want to call it. He has personal issues. He brought it up when he said we didn't tell him that the station was flipping formats. There wasn't a phone call the day after the format flip, things like that. There's personal issues there. That's what I was getting from the phone call.
There's a paranoia in his head. You know, he's trying to put a lot of facts together. Like, we weren't talking to him on a regular basis to begin with. Yeah. So then he thought I was avoiding him because I knew about a format change.
I'll tell you something else. It's very difficult.
We weren't talking to him on a regular basis. We had our differences with the guy.
It's very difficult also to come in here, do this show, then do the XM show, and then have a show meeting, and then meet with the program director. Our schedule is really screwed up by doing two shows. When we were suspended, we were getting done here at 9. We didn't go home at 9. It gave us a lot of time to do meetings and things that we hadn't been able to do. Perhaps in that situation, it would have been easier for us to meet with John and talk with him, but it was kind of a rough thing to work both shows and meet with management.
By the way, every phone call is saying that the show's been really, really good lately. So,
and by the way,
if I plunk them down, then John will go, well, you know, you did.
They're just fans, and
there's also people probably that would agree with me, but you wouldn't put them on.
I'm not saying there are people that wouldn't agree with him. Of course there are. There are people that agree with Hitler. I don't, there's people that agree with everything.
Great example.
I'm going from, one big extreme. I don't know what to say.
But to say that we cost him the job.
Yeah, that was weird. It cost him 2 jobs.
Say what you will about our ratings, but we're outperforming the station by leaps and bounds.
And by the way,
there's only so much we could do. When some of the other day parts are barely doing a 1 share, it makes it really tough
Do you think we really enjoyed getting fired for 2 years for the St. Pat's thing? Just to get you fired, John? Mwahaha. Hey, Opie, we got John fired. Mwahaha.
That was us.
We just have to sit out for 2 years and rot.
Well, a lot of people calling up saying he was contradicting himself. That is a contradiction right there because he wants us to be on the edge and rebels. Well, yeah, we continue to do that. We just got suspended for 30 days, and us being rebels got us fired for 2 years.
And by the way, when he said his shows...
But that got him fired, so he, I guess, figured maybe we shouldn't have done that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We didn't go into the studio that day going, well, this will be the thing that will cost John Manelli his job.
When he said his shows, like, that wasn't my show, we weren't in his show. We were here first. He was brought in after we were hired here.
I'm sure we
were hired from John from Hollander.
I'm sure he'll take the credit for our rating success here.
Yeah, of course.
We took David Lee Roth's crappy numbers and we made something of them. And you know what? Let's just throw this out there. We'll end it with this. A trend comes out what? Monday, Tuesday. I'm sure everyone's going to focus on the trend on Monday for this station here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see what it looks like on Monday. All right.
That's it. Fair enough.
Because if it sucks, then they have a chance to fire us again.
Yeah.
We got to take a break. I have no idea what we're going to do now today because we're about 3 breaks behind.
Let's just play commercials the rest of the show.
It's Opie and Anthony. You never know what's going to happen on a daily basis on the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, it was...
Figure we come in and do a little radio show, and then all hell breaks loose this morning.
Yeah, give the guy credit for coming to the phone, though.
I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah. I give him credit for coming to the phone. He could have just kept emailing stuff, but he came on the air. That was kind of cool.
And he's one of the few guys.
I still think he's an effing lunatic. I think he came to the phone.
There's something going on in his head, but I'll give John this much. He still has passion for radio.
Yeah,
there's not many guys that do these days.
Yeah, I don't agree with his take on it, and I think it's bias with a little personal feelings that he's got. Being a little bitter with things, but what are you going to do?
Only saying that when you get rich, people get soft. It's like there's certain things that are beyond your control, like when certain impressions of certain ethnicities are done,
right?
They dump out of it. They dump out of certain impressions of ethnic voices now.
I would love to. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Louis C.K. was doing a stereotypical Asian accent yesterday when we were talking about something with Vietnam. It was being dumped out of. You aren't going to hear it. It's one of those things now that can't be done anymore. I used to do the Yoshi delivery guy when we first got to NEW. And it was, because we got a lot of Asian Chinese food delivery guys that ride their bicycles like maniacs in between traffic. And it was kind of a fun bit to do. It was like a fake phone call kind of a thing we would do. And it was fun. People seem to enjoy it. But can't do that now. Would love to do things like that. Can't do it. Mike Tyson, grab a Tyson bit from NEW from the old days and play it on this station. And let's see how far it gets before it gets dumped out of. It was nothing but him sexually assaulting women and them coming back at him with some kind of racist response. All done in humor and funny, and it should absolutely be able to be played. But because of the environment we're in, you don't. It can't. That's just the world we live in. If John wants us again, like I said, to throw ourselves on a sword for our art, so be it. I don't think I'm ready to do that right now. I think we're talented enough to work within the guidelines. And until we say to ourselves, something, it's gotten much too restrictive. We can't do a show. Then we're done, because then we won't be able to do a show. And we'll be fired anyway.
He's really trying to downplay the success we've had too since coming back to regular radio.
Yeah,
the last trend we did a 2.6 in mornings. That was from 6 to 10. We were sharing an hour with JV and Elvis. I know it's part of my brain. We were sharing an hour with JV and Elvis, and they were on suspension. So their show, that time slot was a complete disaster. They said that we did over 3.0 if you take out the JV and Elvis hour.
Yeah.
The station itself, overall, including our 3 share, did a 1.3 to 1.4.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was due to Ron and Fez's success.
Yeah, they had great numbers.
So for him to downplay it and say that we cost him a job because we weren't performing as well as we should have, we were outperforming the station by leaps and bounds and continue to. We'll see on Monday. I'm brave enough to say that I do believe we're going to have a really good trend on Monday.
Not knocking wood.
Sure, why not?
Sure, I don't want to look stupid.
Sure.
I don't want to look stupid now.
So,
Can I ask an off-the-subject question?
Yeah.
Please.
Juneteenth, which I certainly wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
On Juneteenth.
Which is when?
It's Juneteenth. I don't know exactly when. Is this the first time you've ever heard of Juneteenth?
Of course it is.
This is the first time I've heard of it.
I've heard of this as a girl's name. From certain people. But
I've never heard of Juneteenth, but apparently it was when news got to... What? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. It's when news of the Emancipation Proclamation got to slaves, and they were free. And it's been being celebrated... And I heard actually on an ad for one of the black newspapers, The Guardian, here in New York City, that
but
it's
you don't read
time,
newspapers.
No,
I certainly don't.
No, it's a time to celebrate diversity and cooperation within the black race and all these kinds of things. And then you see what was going on in a few cities yesterday, just destruction. Crowds in the thousands. I saw a helicopter cam which at least had maybe 500 people walking down the street, destroying cars, pulling people out of their cars, and beating them about the head.
Same stuff that happens at the St. Pat's Parade. Oh,
that's right. It doesn't.
Oh, same stuff that happens at the Columbus Day Parade.
No, but Columbus was just a murderer, so the whole concept of the Columbus Day Parade is bad. But that's one of those things and here's what really got me this morning. We're watching the coverage of that on the news this morning in the office, and the news 4 times during this story had to say that during the actual celebration, which there were thousands of police at, by the way, that it was peaceful. They had to say it 4 times. This was peaceful during the celebration itself. Peaceful during the celebration. But then once they got out of that celebration atmosphere where that was, pretty much every square foot had a cop, it was just what used to be referred to as wilding. Yeah. Just breaking cars, stomping, jumping on people's cars till they get out, and then punching the hell out of them. One guy actually was killed. Somebody hit a child with a car. Non-life-threatening injuries to the child. They dragged the driver out, and the passenger got out to help. Somehow the driver got back into his car, but the passenger was beaten to death by what they assume was about 20 men with their bare hands. It was a Hispanic man that they beat to death. And it was all black men that beat him to death.
Wow.
But that wasn't reported on... It wasn't even reported as a Juneteenth event on the news. They just reported it as an assault to a man who was dragged out of his car and killed. So that's that's the kind of stuff that just annoys the crap out of me when the news can't be honest about things that are going on in any community, black, Asian. You can't address these things without this fear, this cloud of fear over your head that it's going to cost you your job, your livelihood, your reputation, or whatever.
When is Reverend Al speaking out? Is it later today?
You will not hear a peep out of Reverend Al about Juneteenth and the violence that happened.
I thought I saw something that he might be doing a press conference or...
Did a white radio host say something bad? Because I don't think you'll see him pop out.
I'm sure it'll be something about how the police influenced it. It'll somehow blame the cops. It'll somehow blame people, or it will somehow exonerate a group of people who were running through the streets behaving like barbarians. I'm sorry, if you're yanking people out of cars and you're beating them and you're supposed to be at a celebration, you are a barbarian.
A celebration of the Emancipation Proclamation.
Exactly. It's a fun thing to say. It rhymes.
Right. Celebration Proclamation. And you're this helicopter view, I swear to you, is frightening to watch. I'm sure it's on YouTube or Break or one of the other video sites. I know I saw it on Drudge yesterday. You just look at this. There's no sound. It's just a helicopter view. It goes on for about 4 minutes. And you just see crowds of people walking down the streets in what I could only assume would be a nightmare for anybody caught up in that. A nightmare. All young black men just destroying things.
Kind of like what happened at Madison Square Garden during that high school basketball game. And kind of like... what was the other one recently that there was another just a horrible behavior in public? It wasn't just, it was something else that happened.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to mention that.
But the news doesn't focus on that. That's a problem. That is a huge problem right there. There's an issue that goes deeper than just a big crowd wrecking things.
Well, this footage, it does say post Juneteenth violence.
Post Juneteenth. Well, they were there for Juneteenth, and if shouldn't they still be caught up in that whole celebratory moment?
You watch. If that was St. Patty's Day.
My God.
But you watch, they would say, and accurately so, Irish people rioted all over the place. They would mention that.
Right. Irish people, you would hear that, right. Yeah. They say nothing about the ethnicity of the people, the hundreds, thousands of people that are just wreaking havoc. Here's a woman being taken down by one of the police horses. Wow.
This was
that had to hurt.
In Milwaukee?
Yeah, Milwaukee, and then there were celebrations in multiple cities. And I got to say, I only heard probably 2 or 3 cities where there was a problem. So apparently other cities went off without a hitch. That's fine. But there's an issue here that should be addressed that people are afraid to address.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, your job, your reputation, whatever, is going to be tossed out the window because you'll be taken out of context, or it'll be interpreted as being racist if you just give a play-by-play of what's happening.
If there was, here's the reality. If there was groups of white people dragging people out of cars and beating them, and one was beaten to death, and a Spanish man was beaten to death,
right,
it would be a lot bigger deal. It's out of the papers already. If it's in the paper, here we got Bloomberg and Giuliani.
No, it's really not in the papers today.
No.
But I didn't really read the papers today.
No, you don't.
But the pictures are nice.
I could barely lift them at this point.
Why bother?
Why bother?
The only stacks of paper I want to hold is my money.
That's right. But preferably in hundreds.
Oprah raised a good point. Oprah raised a good point. He said if they fired this show, they could save a lot of money. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't think that
if they kept Jim Norton here alone for just the Norton show, they'd save a bundle.
Oh, boy, would they. All right, we got to take a break. We got to catch up a little bit.
Let's catch up.
Is that all right, John? Can we take a break? We still got to play commercials.
Oh, cater to the man. Go ahead. Cater to the man and take a break. If you were a rebel, you'd stay on until 7:30.
We'll cater to Tom today instead of John. Is that right, John? Is that okay? Is it okay? Opie and Anthony.
Go.
If you have something for the show, give us a call, 877-212-5762. Let's go to Boston. Say hi to Brendan. He's listening on BCN. Brendan, what's up?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Brendan.
Hey.
Hey, I'm driving to work this morning, lovely traffic here in Boston, and I'm listening, and I haven't heard anything about this. This has grabbed zero traction in the media here in Boston.
What are you talking about? John Manelli's memo, or...
It wouldn't be in the paper.
Oh, what?
The rioting.
The Juneteenth. I didn't even know there was a Juneteenth.
I never heard of Juneteenth. And apparently it's been around for quite some time.
No clue.
But I never heard of Juneteenth.
The funny thing is, dude, and I've been screaming about this. By the way, when I was said before, why is it when black people get together a lot of times it's I'm sorry. That's the reality. We mentioned this, and then I said the Garden. The other one I was trying to grab was Source Awards. At the Source Awards, there's always violence. Why? Why does that? I don't get why that happens. And it's out of the paper in 2 days. A guy was beaten to death.
Right.
And dragged out of the car. It's gone. And you know what's on the front page of the paper? Stupid Giuliani and questionable sexual preferences voiced Bloomberg. Only the voice. He's a straight guy. But if you heard him on the phone, you'd go, wow, where's she from? Not a masculine voice. But I mean, where is it? It's out of the paper.
Yeah, it should be huge front page news.
White people were rioting. Justifiably, it would be on the front page. Well, one white guy says something inappropriate, and the media covers it obsessively for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't understand how a group of people can drag someone, a group of hundreds of people, can drag people out of their cars and beat one to death. And it's not a giant story.
There isn't.
It's
like
barely
not
a
front
blip.
page. Like, oh my God! Wait a minute. You mean to tell me there's a group of people that dragged someone out of their car and beat them to death and destroyed property? Why isn't that big news? Why aren't they covering it? Because they're afraid. They're afraid.
Sharpton's going to give some awful thing about how we as a community.
Yeah.
What?
Enough about the community.
Sharpton should be dragged out of a car and raped and beaten himself, but I mean...
Well, there you go.
It's your opinion,
let's
sir.
make it perfectly clear that Brendan is insane.
He's crazy, and we would never condone any action like that.
But it'd be a hell of a funny video to see anyone trying to assault Sharpton sexually. Good luck. God almighty, if you can function under those circumstances, with that hairdo and that awful voice, you're a stronger man than me. Which is not saying much. My erections are tentative.
Tentative? Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'd like to hear him talk about that. But there's definitely a problem there that needs to be addressed by leaders like Sharpton. Ooh, I use the word leader and laugh. The guy's not a leader. But they need a true leader. And I'm not even talking about an Obama-type leader who is a little too... he's concentrating a little too much on mass appeal, knowing that he needs a liberal white vote also. He can't just concentrate on the black vote. Right. So he's not coming across as a strong leader that needs to address issues in this black community that Reverend Al is always addressing, that there are problems with black-on-black violence like that. Hispanic violence is up. Like I said, I read a lot of papers. I read the crime stats a lot. Believe me. I know percentages of black on white crime, white on black crime, which is a very low percentage. And it doesn't make sense. There's a problem there that needs to be addressed, but these leaders aren't addressing that. They'd rather do these sensational things like the Imus things and get the news that way.
It's amazing what the media finds important and what story they're willing to run with.
Yeah.
Do you
they go for the safe stuff is what it comes down to. I mean, something like this, that's some serious heavy lifting.
A white guy making a naughty remark. White people love to scold each other over racism.
Yeah.
It's almost like, again, it's an adult scolding an adult.
Yeah.
Because white people scold you over your racism. Oh, that was terrible.
Can I jump in? Speaking of the white racist thing, I'm watching Rescue Me. I'm catching up, okay? I got the box sets. I'm doing the box set thing.
Marathon. Nice.
I can't even be bothered waiting a week in between episodes anymore. And they had to go into sensitivity training because one of the fire dudes, can we say the T word for the girls thing?
No.
We can't. No. Is that good enough what I just said?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so they can figure it out there. So one of the firemen said that, called a girl that.
Right.
So they had to do sensitivity training. And they're sitting there, and they're watching the video, the sensitivity training video, and they're just getting annoyed, Dennis Leary especially. And they show, like, a white business guy going up to a black business guy, and all the white guy said was, hey, did you see the game last night? And that is, I guess, racist because you're assuming that all black people are athletic
and into sports.
And they would be the ones that would see the big game last night. And the black guy in the video was insulted that the white guy said this to him. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
What's this, black nerds for more recognition? Right. We don't watch sports.
And then there's more examples of that where it's white saying things to black guys and girls that were really, in my world, not inappropriate whatsoever. And you can see Dennis Leary especially getting more and more pissed in the room. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the scene. And then they stop the tape, the video, and the guy goes, anyone have any questions? And Dennis Leary stands up and goes, what have you guys learned? And Dennis Leary stands up and goes, I learned that only white people can be racist.
Yeah.
And then he went on a tirade that's just classic going, what about the blacks making fun of the Puerto Ricans, the blacks making fun of the Asians making fun of the Cubans, whatever. He just had all these scenarios. And then he walked out like, this is completely ridiculous.
Can I say how beautiful, too, the D.L. Hughley is? I love D.L. Hughley because he was completely on the same thing with the Imus situation. D.L.'s one of those guys, the comic says what he wants to say. He got protested recently. I think it was in Dallas. We were just talking about this off the air. Because he said the Imus remarks, and they're trying to make it look like, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So black people down there protested him, and they wanted an apology, and I just love it. He said no.
Good.
What you
Good for him.
Go worry about teaching a kid to read or stopping a war. I will not apologize for making jokes about life as I see it. Good for him.
Perfect. Jokes about life the way he sees it. What's wrong with that? Exactly. Do you honestly believe that those the people at the Juneteenth leaving the Juneteenth celebration?
Because it was peaceful.
That was peaceful. Of course, that was peaceful. But afterwards, when there weren't cops around, it was people getting dragged out of their cars and beaten and killed. Do you think when people are watching that on television that they are judging those people by the content of their character or the color of their skin?
Or the quality of the video.
Yeah. Do you honestly think? Because that always strikes me. The words of Martin Luther King when he said, judging people by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. People are being judged by the content of their character. And if their character stinks, that's the way they're going to be judged. When people are rioting and dragging people out of their vehicles and beating them to death, I don't think it's so much people saying, what color are they? I think it's the fact that it's a group of people dragging people out of their cars and killing them.
Can somebody point out, like when you talk about ethnicity and race and stuff, like people always want to say, like ethnic pride we've talked about. It's like people want to celebrate racial accomplishments.
Right.
Like, black people, Italians, everybody gets together and celebrates the accomplishments of other people in that group, and that's acceptable. Right. Like, the Irish parades are about the Irish, and God bless the Irish. The Puerto Rican Day Parade, Puerto Ricans are very proud. They love to fly the flag. We're Puerto Rican, and, they make sure you know it by the music being played loud enough so you can hear it 4 blocks away.
Right.
Oh, they love souping up their Corollas, too, man. Let's not forget.
The Toyota Corolla. They write their name on the side of the script.
They know what to do with those cars.
And stop dressing your 4-year-olds up like hookers. Jesus Christ. They get their ears pierced out of the womb.
But they are they are proud of being Puerto Rican, and they let you know it, and that's fine.
Right.
But yet, if you mention something negative about a group, how is that, racist? Like, to say all black people are great at doing this is wonderful. Like, boy, black accomplishments, and you list them, people are great. Lump us into that category.
But there's no bad thing that also goes hand in hand with a certain race group.
Absolutely.
Like, there's only good. If you could celebrate the good, then
you should be able to mention the bad.
Just as you can't appreciate the good without the evil.
That sounds way too logical.
It does make perfect sense, Jimmy, that if you can celebrate your accomplishments and your good, that there has to be, on the other hand, evil and badness that only goes along with a certain group.
Race, yes.
For the most part.
Black
I'm not
History
saying
Month,
everything.
Black History Month is a celebration of black accomplishments, black achievements, which for a long time they were denied. So it's almost like bringing things to light that were shut out for so many years.
Right.
Fine. So if all those things can be attributed color-wise, why can't you attribute a negative color-wise? I mean, why is that so? White people suck. White people just suck.
Well, white people, we could do it. We could say, the accomplishments white people have made, Europeans have made in invention, things like that, innovation in machinery. Germans are so good at machining and building things.
Example?
I just have to say that. But then on the other hand,
some nicer people that didn't use machinery to march everybody to death. How about people that cured something?
Yeah, there you go.
Anthony takes lemons and Anthony takes genocide and makes lemonade.
Why did I have to bring up Germany?
You kind of do.
I definitely appreciate the fact that the Germans are very good engineers. They're very good at engineering and machinery, and they're very innovative in that. But Europeans, I'm saying, white Europeans, then came to this country, and on one hand, they're very good, very resourceful, building great ships to bring themselves to this country, where we worked our way westward and killed every single thing we met on the way. Like, that's the bad part. We decided, hey, we come to America, we're going to move west and just hang guns out of our wagons and trains eventually and just shoot everything in the way. I'm willing to accept that as a white person, that was done, and that was a pretty evil thing. Well, along with the accomplishments of white Europeans. But why can't anything be pointed out in any race that isn't good, that is attributed to maybe just that race? Again, I say for the most part, because there's going to be exceptions everywhere. But you just can't do it anymore. You really can't.
This should get the coverage that Imus got, but it's already gone.
Yeah. Because
gone.
White people run the media, and white people, and black people know this, do not, especially like elitist like media, they don't see black people as equal, so they'll never scold black people the way they scold each other, because adults always scold each other differently than they scold children.
Liberal whites, you're right. They treat black people like children, like it's expected of them. So they don't want to punish them as badly.
Because that riot footage reminds people of stuff in the civil rights era where black people were justifiably rioting against brutality.
Right.
And this is not justifiable rioting. This is just barbaric.
Barbarism on the street.
I should learn to say that word before I try to use it.
Barbarino.
We still got to catch up a little bit.
Yes, we do.
Because of that crazy first hour we had.
Yes. Got to pay the bills, John.
And by the way, John, don't pat yourself on the back. We were going to talk about this today. I know he's sitting there going, "Oh, it had an effect today." Did you?
John's running the show from his house now.
All right, whatever. It's Opie and Anthony.
Well, not just like it.
We're back with the Opie and Anthony show. Let's say hi to Floyd in Vegas.
Floyd.
What's up, Floyd? Floyd?
Hey there, Floyd.
Did we lose Floyd? Floyd.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Floyd. What's up,
Floyd?
man?
I think John Manelli's a douche, and the show has been as funny as ever in the last week, so he can go screw.
Thank you, Floyd. You sound a little tired. You're breathing in that burning tire smoke over there in Vegas. Can you see it?
Just tired.
Wait, what's going on in Vegas with the tires?
There's a huge pile of tires from one of the big races out there.
Yeah.
And they're burning. And a bunch of black smoke is just wafting into the air from burning rubber tires.
Well, there's problems with one of the races out there.
I'm not drinking all that.
Oh, you're out drinking all night, so you don't care about the burning tires.
You missed a doozy by...
damn it.
I heard it.
I was talking to Floyd.
Floyd sounds a little slow today. All right, Floyd.
It's in Vegas. What do you expect?
Guys.
All right, thank you, sir.
Later.
It's a mess.
Now we'll go to Detroit. Chris, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Owen?
Hey.
Hey, man.
Hey, I just read the story in the paper. I don't know if you read the paper, Opie, but...
Nice callback.
Those weird little shots he took during that argument, I don't know what to tell you. I read so many papers, I can't even... at least 5 a day, at least. And not counting the ones I take a peek at online.
And that doesn't include the Advocate, which he gets sent to his home.
Yeah, well, this one...
Love the classifieds.
Just trying to keep informed. What, Chris?
In Columbia, South Carolina, they found 2 naked people that had fallen from 50 feet from the roof of an office building.
I got it,
and
sir.
They were naked.
Naked people, and they were naked and stuff. Oh, I assume they were probably having sex, right?
I would assume on the roof. Maybe they found the clothes on the roof. Some cab driver found them on the road.
Wait, they're both dead?
Yeah, we got the story here. It's one of the better stories today. All right, Chris.
Punching out, guys.
Yeah, we'll take it from here. Thanks for the setup.
Dead and totally nude.
Yeah, totally nude. What a way to go.
Can you imagine falling 50 feet naked?
God's kingdom of nakedness.
50 to 60 feet. Oh, my gosh. Sloping metal roof.
Yeah, I got it right here, Jimmy. Here it is.
God.
Here it is.
What a nightmare.
Columbia police are investigating the deaths of a young couple who they say accidentally fell off a roof early this morning.
Now, police are telling us that a cab driver found the 2 injured lying on Laurel Street without any clothes on.
That's where it ends? Jeez, it's insensitive.
Just to get us going there. That's the news anchor explaining the situation.
I wonder if the guy lost his on. Do you think he still had it?
I bet you that they were just going at it and they didn't realize how sloped the roof was or something like that.
Oh. Why would you be on a sloped roof having sex? I can understand a flat roof, you know, it's kind of cool, you're outside, a little exciting. But if you're on a steep friggin' Howard Johnson's roof. You're done. A church.
Yeah.
You're on a church steeple.
Well, we got the homeless woman. She will explain here what happened.
Alrighty.
You know I'm homeless. This Lincoln Street parking garage is a place where Naomi Mosley occasionally seeks shelter.
And I was getting up, packing up my stuff to get it out the place.
It's also the place where she and her husband witnessed a young couple arrive in a car, then climb onto the roof of the building next door.
When they came in, they was laughing. You know what I mean? Like laughing and happy and saying, "Hey, there's some people climbing up."
A final act.
Her arm was up in the air, and he was pulling her up. He said, "Baby, you know what I mean? I got you."
Before falling to their deaths.
That was not Whoopi.
It sounds like it was her.
That was that one of her characters from her one-woman show. They were clowning up.
Is that what she said?
Oh, climbing up. Okay, I thought there was some slang I missed.
She said clowning up?
No, they were climbing up.
Climbing up? What? So what? They wanted to have a little sex.
Yeah.
Decided they were going to do it on the roof, and something went horribly wrong.
They said, "Don't worry, baby, I got you."
Yeah.
And then they fell?
Yeah.
So were they having sex, or were they naked climbing up?
Hope they didn't slip in the alley. What a way to go.
Oh, God.
Last
Maybe
thing
that's
you feel
it.
is that on your foot?
Whoops.
No, they found the clothes on the roof.
Yeah. So they were naked.
Well, the homeless woman, a.k.a. Whoopi, continues her explanation.
Right.
Naomi says she and her husband decided to just mind their own business. And when they came downstairs around 5:30, she saw the taxi cab driver who found the bodies and stopped to call 911. Soon after, police had blocked off the streets.
Lord God, I hope they gave the soul to you.
Police found the couple's clothing on the garage roof, but they did not find any evidence of foul play. It was purely accidental. Naomi says it's a sight she wishes she'd never seen.
I feel heartache that it happened because I wouldn't want my worst enemy to fall off no roof like that.
I wouldn't want my worst enemy to fall off the roof. Yes.
Can I tell them if I never
my worst enemy, I'd want more than I consider my worst enemy Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
And I'd want worse for him than just falling off a roof.
There are things we say that just don't make sense. I want horrific things to happen to my
worst enemy.
I have no problem admitting that.
Yes, horrid
When
things.
people say, "Oh, I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy," really?
I think you would.
Oh, man, I would.
I wouldn't because it's not harsh enough.
Yeah.
The roof doesn't do it. How about a lawnmower over the crotch? That I'd wish.
Yes.
You know what I'd wish on my worst enemy? To have to talk to that stupid Naomi. What a dope she sounds like. God almighty, could you have found a worst spokesperson? And who's her worst enemy? Anyone with a roof over their head? Shut up.
Yeah, apparently she doesn't like roofs very much. Ooh, that's horrible. I wouldn't wish that a roof on my worst enemy.
There's many things she doesn't like.
Yeah.
Why don't you take that and run with it at home? Because
wake
up with Whoopi. Yeah, I mean, I wish horrific things on my worst enemies.
Well, that lovely couple, what are you going to say?
Good luck, bros.
Good luck, bro.
That is a crazy story.
That's great. I hope that they had sex already, though. I hope they weren't
like
just
finished
preparing.
up.
Yeah.
Probably not. You're caught in the throes of passion. They were probably right in the middle of it. That's what I would think, right in the middle.
Oh, my God, you fall down like that, and you know you're about to die, so you hold on real tight, because, like, I don't know if I'm going to go.
Fine, got to finish.
Two dogs in the street with water thrown on you.
All right, well, why don't we give out some tickets here?
I would like that.
Oh.
It's very funny, because someone on the instant feedback, he writes, and we were just talking about this during the commercials.
Update.
I can't find it. Something about, what? No Bruce Willis this week on your show? Yeah, no Bruce Willis.
No.
We were hoping.
He can't get up early to talk to us, even though we're pushing the hell out of his new movie.
Yeah.
This is our world.
We're not even invited to the party.
Well, we thought we were, weren't we?
Yeah, we're not.
We were supposed to be.
Yeah, there's like a big Bruce Willis thing.
Supposed to go to the big premiere. And then go to a party afterwards.
Yeah.
But we don't get to go to the party.
Because we're just radio douches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we fall into the radio douches category.
I disagree.
I wish we'd reach the point of, selling out, where I could go to a big Hollywood premiere party. Not there yet.
You know who we get invited to? The Ron and Fez wedding.
Right. I'm invited to that
Casey
debacle.
And Dave. And I had to hint around for Casey to invite me. There's our friends Ron and Fez have a guy Dave on their show, and Casey, who I tried to sleep with unsuccessly at one point. And I struck out horribly.
Did you really?
Stupid Met. Yeah, she's very hot, and she wanted nothing to do with me sexually, as she shouldn't have. And they're getting married today in the Hard Rock. And I probably will go if I'm wide awake.
Yeah.
And I wasn't invited. I had to kind of hint around talking to someone just
How
to get
would you
the
not
invite.
be invited?
It was an oversight. I'm a small man.
I want to go. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Oh, I'm there. I'm definitely going. I got to see this.
So if I'm not there, Casey and this guy, Eastside Dave, that I don't really know, don't take it personally. I really want to go, but I've been sick all week and moving into a new joint. So I'm going to try to make it, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do the right thing.
Opie might
But if
not
I don't make it, it's nothing personal. Trust me, I really will try to get there.
Just say this. You'll be in your new mansion, running into the second, third, or fourth bedroom, whatever you feel like doing. That's what Ope does.
I didn't bring a checkbook or anything, too. How much should I give the lovely couple?
$50.
Nothing?
$50.
Should I give them nothing?
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we give away a pair of tickets to the premiere of Live Free or Die Hard? It's happening tomorrow at Radio City Music Hall. Bruce Willis is back as John McClane. The only way to live free is to Die Hard in theaters June 27th. We got a pair of tickets to the premiere tomorrow night.
Nice.
And still no Bruce Willis for our radio show.
I know.
We're good enough to do that, but not good enough to actually talk to the star of the movie. I mean,
very hurtful.
It's amazing. It's just this business stinks.
Does hurt a little.
Oh, the tell-all book is going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. Oh, boy, am I.
Oh,
I'm lying. In my tell-all book. It's about how I got the gig and I walked in and Ope's trousers were down. That never happened. It'll make for a great read.
Is that Casey over at
Happy
Typing Girl's house? Is that the big bride before the wedding kind of thing that they're doing?
Yeah, the broads hang out. And get her ready for the big day.
Something borrowed, something bloomed.
I guess we don't have to give out the number, but just in case, 877-212-5762. The phones are lit. Make sure you could go to this thing in New York tomorrow. All right? All right, it's Opie and Anthony.
Yep. Hi.
Oh, no, now I'm on.
Here, Jimmy.
I was welcoming us back with no microphone. Little ironies.
That's silly.
I'm looking at flight benefits on Pal Talk, and she's lotioning up her legs.
Yep.
And I'd really like to have sex with her.
Oh.
I don't see that happening.
Whoa, look at the position she's taken up.
Lovely.
Now she's lifting one leg up on the back of something and lotioning. Oh, inner thighs being lotioned.
I'm hoping so are mine.
Are those real, by the way?
Yeah. They look real.
Very good.
I'm needing her self-esteem to take a nosedive. Oh, someone is saying, oh, they're not? Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh,
whatever,
no?
They're lovely.
Yeah, it's Opie and Anthony. 877-212-5762. Still getting emails, by the way.
Yeah.
Came in to do our show today, and the old PD at this joint tried to give us a good, trashing through an email. I give him credit, and then he came on the phone with us, at least. Finally.
Yeah. But he's still emailing, a little bitter. I guess he assumes we lost him a couple of jobs. Hey, join the club. Go on the yacht with Ken Stevens.
Let's see, another email coming in from John Minnelli. Yeah, well, we believe in freedom of speech, too. You can read it if you want. So we're allowed to read this, Tom, so relax. Got problems all over the ball field today. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Don't know where to look anymore. Don't know who to trust anymore. Don't know who is actually in our corner trying to help us do a better radio show that don't have personal interest involved.
I'm in your corner.
Yeah, no, I'm
just saying the fact that I'm doing some Mancow stuff this week.
So John continues, if you guys had performed at 100% rather than 25%.
Not even giving us 50?
25%.
25%.
Because that would hurt a little bit more, right?
How can you say that? My nickname is 110% Jimmy.
I know.
They call me.
And I'm all about 102%. Little callback. Don't feel like explaining it. But if you're just tuning in, John used to be the PD here in New York City when it was a talk format.
Mm-hmm.
And, in all fairness to John, he wanted to make some changes. The company couldn't make some of the changes just because of contracts and such.
Yeah, things in place, right?
And we were outperforming the station big time. And, the company decided that they needed to change formats and go back to K-Rock here in New York and play rock. And they decided that we were doing well enough that they said, yeah, you guys continue doing mornings for us. We're very happy to have you guys do mornings for us here in New York City. They could have got rid of us easily, especially if we were at 25%, Anthony.
Exactly.
Free FM could have survived the Imus thing, the JV and Elvis thing, and the XM thing.
Really?
Yes, that's something no one wants to really acknowledge, but we compete against ourselves every morning. It's a touchy thing to bring up, but we actually compete against Opie and Anthony on XM. They're this really strong show on XM.
Yeah, we love them.
And we have to compete against them as well when we do regular radio.
Are they giving, what percent are they giving on XM?
On XM, the Opie and Anthony XM show is up to about 90, 95%.
Wow, and we're only at 25. How can we compete?
And that's why we're losing, because this Opie and Anthony we're only giving 25%. The other Opie and Anthony,
rule.
They do rule, man, are giving 95%. It is pretty strange, but we do compete against a show called Opie and Anthony on XM.
Yep.
It's one of our dilemmas that we have to deal with, because we made this very unique deal in radio. Number 2, that's why I figure you cost me 2 gigs. That's why I'm pissed.
Cost him 2 gigs. Take some friggin' responsibility for yourself. Stop it. And take radio for what it is. They flipped formats. You got the boot. It happens.
And it's funny because he's trying to say that I knew way beforehand. And one of my pals in the business, Mike, that runs FMQB.com, he's like, John's insane. Like, I even knew that the station was flipping 3 weeks before it did.
Yeah, I know. Everyone knew. Stop.
It was the worst kept secret in radio.
None of the business knew.
That's why I wasn't going to go for that little bit of bait that he was dangling. Everybody knew. The shows knew that something was amiss. That's why I figure you cost me 2 gigs. That's why I'm pissed. And this shows that he's just insane because, in my humble opinion, we're outperforming the radio station.
Yeah.
And if the other shows did half of what we were doing, then I
12.5%.
I believe that this would still be.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I know. I'm on a rant. That's why it wasn't going though. That's why I believe that it would still be a talk format here in New York. Don't blame us. Blame the shows that you actually had control of. And don't bring Ron and Fez into it like they were your big discovery.
Yeah. It's like a no-brainer.
The worst PD in America would have hired Ron and Fez. Don't make it sound like you found this hidden talent somewhere. They were huge in New York.
Yeah.
And they could have been on a hip-hop station. They would have killed in the ratings. Yep. Everyone was excited to have those guys back here in New York.
I don't know if Fez would be as well received at a hip-hop station.
Oh, good point.
Maybe
good point.
not.
He would have to keep us.
Hey.
He would have to keep a few things
well, it's not a good
on the QT.
Talking about the worst kept secret. I think the format flip is second behind Fez going, well, all right, there you go. He makes Paul Lynde look like Chuck Connors. That's
Number 3.
Nice 1965 reference guy.
I picked a dead guy and a guy who should have been dead 20 years ago. I am an ass.
And that's why the show's not as good.
It certainly isn't.
If you were given 100%, you would have updated your reference.
I would have grabbed somebody from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which would have been topical, and another tough guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 3, I didn't write such harsh memos when I was the PD because you weren't quite that bad then.
Well, we got bad, and
but even then, I was pretty direct. Now your show is virtually unlistenable. The industry knows it.
See?
The listeners know it.
Virtually.
That's right.
As long as we're virtually unlistenable, That means we're still kind of listenable.
That means we still have a chance,
I'm
right?
taking that as a compliment.
And this is what's so weird. Like, people that I do trust and I do get feedback from, and I wasn't going to go for that bait either. There are people that will tell me personally, you guys got to step it up. You've been this, you've been that. Maybe you're doing too much of this particular bit. I actually have in my life an inner circle of people that I do trust. And the one thing that has been coming out is that we have a new energy since the station here in New York went back to music. Yep. They said it's a new energy. You sound excited. The show sounds excited. They sound like they just got a lot of energy, and the show has sounded much better since the flip. So it's his opinion against other people's opinions. And there was a time I did respect John Manelli's opinions as well, but I think there's just a personal agenda here that makes it really tough to see where his real opinion lies.
There's too much personal feeling.
And it's weird, if the show was unlistenable and the listeners know it, you know, then were they faking the standing ovation? And this is stuff we kind of downplay. But were the listeners faking the standing ovation we got at Jones Beach this past Saturday night?
Yeah.
There were close to 10,000 people there. We walked on stage, and the 10,000 people gave us a standing ovation. So if they're hating us so much, why would they go to one of our events?
That was all of our listeners.
Now, believe, you know, and let's keep it fair here. It's mostly an event for our comedian friends. You know, but we put the whole thing on, and we were in the parking lot getting nothing but love from our listeners. If it's unlistenable, why would they even show up?
No, but I got to say, it's not just an event for the comedians. The comedians are the great part of it, but part of it is to come out and hang with the show.
Oh, Jim.
No, but I'm being honest. That's not even mock humility. It's the truth.
Thanks.
Part of it is just to come out and hang with the show.
Yeah.
That's what they want to see. They don't want to just see a bunch of comics. They want to see comedians from the show.
Well, we've always been honest here. I mean, you guys are doing the heavy lifting at these comedy shows. You know, we're doing our thing, and it's well received, but it is what it is. But the audience is made up of our hardcore listeners, just giving us a standing ovation. Number 4, why is it unlistenable? Anthony now phones it in, and Opie no longer
Hold on, Opie, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, it's Anthony. I don't like that remark, that phoning it in remark. That is. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wait, you're breaking up. Hold on.
You.
I
can hear it.
Phone it in, you mother... phone it in.
Does anybody understand? Look, I worked for a living. I understand how hard people work on a daily basis. I'm not even getting into that. I'm getting into not the physical labor aspect of this job, but there is a pressure to entertain on a daily basis. What I do is difficult in that I have a lot of rules to abide by, more so than I've ever had in my life. I would love to do a lot of bits and things that were benchmarks of this program years ago. It can't be done.
Well, on XM,
I'm sure there are people that would love to bust out the fire hoses at Juneteenth. That can't be done either anymore. It can't be done. There are things I want to say and do that aren't able to be done anymore. If this idiot can't see that we can't do the Mike Tyson bit anymore.
Well, really fast, because we're on XM. They play a lot of our old material. That was part of the deal. We were allowed to take all our old shows and give them to XM so they can replay them. Anthony and I will sit there sometimes. We'll hear a replay of an old bit we did at NEW, and we sit there in amazement. We're like, oh, my God, how did this ever get on the air?
Yeah.
Obviously, it would never get on the air today, but we're even saying, how did it get on the air back then?
It's just times change, and the way people perceive things change, the power people get changes, and things have changed over the years. So if he feels I'm phoning this in when I sit there at night, pretty much from the time I get home till the time I go to bed, it's looking at crap to do stuff with on this radio show. That's what I do on a nightly basis. I barely go out. On Thursday we have our fun little poker game, and the rest of the time is spent researching and doing material, getting material and learning things and just getting stuff for the show.
It's extremely difficult to do a radio show in this climate, But, and because then a lot of people would say, well, why don't you just go over to XM full time? You know, because you could do a lot more over there, which is a fact. We still like the challenge over here. We like the fact that we're going to try to figure out and abide by the rules in place and see if we could still do an entertaining, clever, funny show.
There's still room for comedy and having a fun show on FM radio. Absolutely.
We're still trying to figure that out. We're we're reinventing ourselves as we speak. I think because the climate is so difficult, he perceives that as us not trying as hard, and it's psycho talk.
This guy would love to see us blow ourselves up again. Just go on the air and say something. Did you honestly think they threw Don Imus off the air? You know better than anybody, John, how much that guy was billing. That station was billing huge amounts of money with Don Imus, and they threw him off the air. What do you think could happen to us?
And we almost got thrown off the air recently, so we haven't even really changed our tune that much. We're still pushing it to the point that we just went through a 30-day suspension.
The guy doesn't seem to
satellite,
understand.
where you're supposed to be able to do more.
Right.
Don't you understand how insane this is?
The guy doesn't seem to understand that the climate has changed, and we must change along with it, or end up drinking Mountain Dew at 6 in the morning with you.
Writing
out of work.
Passive-aggressive emails to people.
Yeah, blaming people for your unemployment. Enough.
I'll say it again. You understand how insane it is to get suspended for 30 days from your satellite radio show.
Yeah.
Where almost anything goes.
Right.
I mean, that says a lot right there. And I don't produce anymore, really. Really. No. I'm not battling with Tom to the point we can barely talk to each other at this point. I'm not sticking up for the show and pushing as far as I can for the good of the show.
Hey, John, where were you going upstairs to management? You were considered management. Where was he going upstairs to management and trying to get things put across and saying, hey, lighten up, let these guys do this or this? I didn't hear anything like that going on. So just stop with the blame game. It's radio. It's the climate in society these days that is detrimental to the talk format. That's why talk radio really is having a hard time across the entire country these days. Unless you're a political talker, Sean Hannity, something like that, and that's like the last avenue of talk radio that'll be taken over by people with agendas. Because right now they got the safety net of, hey, I'm talking politics here. This is our ideology. Comedy, though, comedy talk, we're pretty much it.
Yeah.
We're pretty much it. That's on the edge, that's still in the paper, getting suspended, almost fired, not getting thrown off. There's no one left.
We're the last dinosaur heading toward that tar pit.
Heading toward the tar pit. That's what we are. We're a lumbering dinosaur heading for a tar pit.
And trust me, we're looking around to see if there's another way. All right, we are.
Yeah.
But we have pea brains. This guy's an ass.
I don't understand.
I am so sick of the people that I help in this business, and then they turn around and trash me.
That thinks it's 1995.
I have another for another day. I'll put it this way. Someone has been harassing me for a really long time, someone that I helped in this business. An old employee has been harassing me to no end.
Yeah.
And all I did was try to help this person. All I did was hire him numerous times. But he's blaming me for his firing. What the F did I do to you? Except protect you and make sure you still had a job way past the point where the company wanted to get rid of you.
People get.
What do I get for that? That's why I can't talk to anyone anymore. What do I get? Harassing phone calls and text messages and thousands of emails and other things that I can't discuss at this time because there's things going on now because of it. Unbelievable. I'm just so sick of this crap. Listen to the hour you spent yesterday with the animal rights lady. Doesn't understand the show. So some people liked Marge yesterday, okay? Here's the deal with our radio show. We take chances. We put people on the air. Sometimes we fail miserably. We're the first ones to admit that, but you got to be brave enough to go for some things. We've had radio gold with Marge.
Love Marge.
So John maybe didn't like the Marge phone call yesterday. Maybe some of the faithful listeners didn't like the Marge call yesterday. That's fine. But that's what happens when you're trying to create. You have to take chances with things. You don't know how it's going to play out until you do it.
That's always been the show. And that hasn't changed.
And that's why we are successful. This is one of the reasons we are successful, because we do take chances with our radio show. Most radio guys aren't brave enough to take chances. They go for all the safe stuff over and over again. So that's he should understand that.
Apparently not.
I guess I got madder than usual last night because yet another person said, "These are the guys you think are so great." Well, I'm assuming it's someone from his inner circle, and we're not trying to reach those type of people.
Yeah,
we're just not. I mean, John, if he had it his way, he wants political talk, current news driven, no outrageous like stunts or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the many things we do with our
Bob
radio
Grant
show. He wants Bob Grant. He's a huge fan of
Bob Grant. Couldn't be Bob Grant in today's radio. Hey, how about that one, John?
He was fired for it.
There it is. Yeah, there it is. There's a perfect example of what has happened to radio over the years. Bob got in trouble years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now, could you imagine Bob Grant now saying the things that he used to say that made him what he was on radio? It can't be done. He's a prime example. And I love Bob Grant. I think he was hysterical, but it's just it can't work on the radio now.
Right. And then finally, number 7, you're on 20-some stations. You won't be after the buck.
All right, thanks, John.
Thanks,
what are you,
John.
Kreskin?
Well,
He's
you know what?
Kreskin now predicting the future?
I'll tell you this much. If stations start dropping us after the next book, I feel good with the show we're doing, and I know we gave it our all in this climate, and I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. If we lost all the stations tomorrow, we still have our satellite radio show, which we're proud of as well. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I know we're not phoning in, and I know we're trying the best we can under this climate that we're in, and so be it. I can sleep at night knowing that we gave it the old college try.
Phoning it in.
And then he writes another. Then I guess he. Hey, John. All right, well, this is a forward to me. Hey, John, as long as O&A are publicly ridiculing your critique, which I'm sure you knew would happen, would you like to post it to the board? So I guess he's been sending this email around to his friends, but there's some weird thing that John has with the company, so nothing could be, posted, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that Alan from the New York Radio Message Board got this same email that he supposedly was sending me, but because he's passive aggressive, he's blind CCing everybody on this. It's so obvious Alan has read this but can't post it because of some deal that John made with the company.
Right.
Very obvious in this email that was just sent. So then John writes back, and of course he CCs you and I, and he writes, if I did it myself, I might be seen to violate the mutual non-disparagement agreement I have with CBS. See what he's doing, all behind the scenes, and emails like, here, this is what I think, but don't post it.
Oh,
I'm too scared for you to post it.
Could I clear
but you're
something
aggressive,
up?
John? But you're aggressive?
Could I clear something up with the listeners? We're not mad at Liza Minnelli. God, people are stupid.
Mutual non-disparagement agreement I have with CBS. So I'm copying O&A on the reply, and they could forward the email to you if they want. It is totally okay with me. Fine. We'll send the email to Alan Sniffen. Give him a big plug today. It'll be on the New York Radio
Maybe it'll be part of Board Reflections.
It'll be on the New York Radio Message Board.
Yeah.
No problem. Giving John some press.
There you go. Oh, really, fan? Holding up dirty words.
I've never seen anybody more scared to hold up a sign than he has been with that break. He's been waving that. Oh, it's just this tentative. It's like waving a cowboy flag in Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. It's like this little tentative break.
If you want, you can break anytime.
And you know what? And here it is. And this is what we deal with every day. You got one listener. He writes, I loved the Marge phone call from yesterday. I thought it was one of her best appearances on your show.
Mm-hmm.
The next email, I agree with John on the Marge thing.
See?
And that's what we have to deal with.
So what do you do?
See, John wants us to do current event-driven talk and political talk for the most part. Guess what? There are other listeners that want other things. They still want us to do the 55-gallon drum challenge and things of that ilk.
You know what I really enjoy? There's a type of humor I really enjoy, and it's stereotype race-based humor.
Oh boy, isn't it wonderful?
I love it.
Rules.
It's funny. It's fun to do.
It's hurtful.
It's hurtful. It makes people it shocks people a little, but they laugh too. People have always said the best time they've had listening to radio is when the host says stuff that you think about but couldn't ever say at work or anywhere else. That has been taken away from the radio host. Yep. I love race-based stereotype humor. A lot of people do. Surprise! That tool has been taken out of the toolbox of the talk show host, because now there are volumes of books that tell you why you can't do that anymore. If I tried to do it on these very airwaves, you wouldn't hear it. It would be dumped out of, no matter how innocent. Jokes that children tell on the playground can't be told here on this radio station because words hurt, as we are told in a pamphlet I had to read from a effing lawyer. Words hurt. Do they? Then change the goddamn channel and let us have fun. That's something that people who I thought John understood, but apparently doesn't. I'm hoping at some point the pendulum swings the other way and we're able to really kind of get back into doing that again.
I think it will, by the way.
Everything goes in cycles.
I think people are
eventually
get sick of this PC crap.
I've been thinking that since 1995, and they haven't gotten.
It's just gotten worse and worse. I know.
Stinks.
I know. There are stereotypes. There are Asian stereotypes that I'd love to talk about. I'd love to bring up my drive home more. Oh, my dear, sweet Jesus Christ on the cross, I would love to do that.
I did. I was watching Rescue Me again last night. They did a whole Asian stereotype bit that was hilarious on last night's show that I was watching from the box set. I was staring at my TV. My mouth was agape. I'm like, oh, my God. And this Rescue Me is only a few years old.
Yeah.
It's not like this is All in the Family.
Yep.
This I think it's season 2 I'm on, so that's 2 years ago?
Years old.
That's it. 2 years ago.
Don't you look and go, oh, my God. Don't you think that, don't you get all, kind of nervous for the show? You watch and go, oh, boy, that could be trouble. You know, that's the world we're living in. It sucks. Believe me, it sucks. It totally sucks.
But don't perceive it as us phoning it in. Doing a 25%, a 25% effort. You know more than the listeners, John. It's not. You're just not being fair.
There'd be 20 friggin' different organizations banging on the door downstairs if we ran through a show doing all the material we want to do on a daily basis.
And his answer to that would be, well, then just do it. You're rebels. It's
right.
Okay, and then we'll be doing a show for each other like we did for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years we spent doing a show for each other on the phone, and that was us phoning it in to each other. See, the show.
We're no good to our listeners who depend on the show and still do find the show entertaining. We're no good to our listeners if we're not doing the show,
if we're fired.
We learned that lesson when we had to sit out for 2 years. We learned that lesson big time.
See, just like you're no good sending critique memos to us after you've been fired. Imagine that. I'd love to show up at a job I don't work at anymore and just keep working. What are you doing, John? Go out, get a girl, have some fun, treat her to some Mountain Dew. Don't write memos about our show. You don't have to listen anymore. It's not your job.
Yeah,
I'm going to go back to Apollo Air Conditioning and just start putting up ductwork.
Why don't you move on? He wants to do something with the internet. He was trying to talk me into blowing up XM and stuff and going with
porno
to some kind of internet thing he's starting. It's like he
MountainDew.com.
He doesn't even acknowledge that satellite radio is doing well. It's like, we'll do it on the internet.
Yeah,
so we'll do the exact thing that XM and Sirius are doing, but we'll do it on the internet because they're failing miserably with all their subscribers.
Oh yeah, really?
I'm like, you're insane, man. You really are.
Well, the guy's giving us a show today. Got to tell you that. Got to give him credit for that. Thank you. Giving us a little bit of a show today. Unbelievable.
Off the subject.
Hey, by the way, if you want to go, go ahead, Jim.
No. There's no rhyme or reason, honest to God. But as you guys are talking, I am at full staff.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Just go ahead. I had to let you know that. I'm listening. I agree. And yet, the blood...
See, you so agree. It's getting you so excited.
It's getting me riled up.
Yes. You're riled up, all right.
Well,
It's
listen.
on fire. You're talking about racial humor. It's natural.
Listen, man. I don't know. You know, the listeners don't really like the show anymore, but maybe there's one or two out there.
Mm-hmm.
One or two. Maybe a couple of you. Hopefully. That want to go see us at Mohegan Sun. I don't know, though. I don't think they're going to really appreciate us doing a show up there at the casino. That was part of his memo, by the way. Oh, you went 7 minutes without talking about your comedy show. You know what we could be doing as far as promoting this comedy show?
Stop.
But we realized that there's a huge percent of the audience that don't care about that, so we're trying to, just hit it enough so we get the word out. Anyway, we're not giving away tickets right now. We're just promoting it. Mohegan Sun is a week from Saturday.
And a week from Friday, we're going to be broadcasting from up there.
I hope so. We're trying to figure that out at the Wolf. And we're hoping some of you that still like the show. Hopefully there's a few. Will come and say hi to us. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's a great show, and all the comics you know and like from this mediocre disaster we call a radio show, we would love you to come out and see. Jones Beach was amazing. It was fun. It was fun.
And maybe someone could bring me a newspaper because I just don't feel like reading anymore.
I didn't have my newspapers out this morning, by the way. Boy, when Kenny is not here, the whole place goes to pot. I had no fruit. I had nothing.
Did you get the Kenny phone call yesterday?
No.
Mike will...
why would you answer it?
We have to do it after the break because we're so late. And now you pissed him off. That's Kenny's replacement.
Kenny did a poor job of informing Mike.
Mike's fault. Wow, you're good. You're good.
Well, what would you do if the stocky psycho was staring at you?
You're good.
But I didn't like your fruit?
I love my fruit.
With the flat top that went out 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Not in his job.
No, I know.
You know he has hair like? He has hair like Frank in Mississippi Burning. Like Gene Hackman should be grabbing your crotch while you fall off a chair.
Or who was
Michael Rooker,
the mission control guy in Apollo 13?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Ed Harris in Apollo 13.
Yeah, but he's got his hair. That's not fair to Mike. Mike's got all his hair.
No, well, they put like a wig on him.
Okay, you got it.
Mike looks like every guy that was ever unjustly acquitted of a Klan attack.
So here's the deal. Just reminding you guys that the comedy tour goes to Mohegan Sun a week from Saturday. Yes. Hopefully we'll be at the Wolf on Friday, next Friday. And tickets still available through Ticketmaster.com. It's 9 comedians from the show that you know and love. All the info as we go along, and some of the articles we do promoting the thing, and some of the videos and things that we're doing at the venues. We got one place you could go, and that's Virus Tour, one word on MySpace for all the info. Okay? Future dates and all that. And, of course, because we got to get it in. Brought to you by Bud Light, always worth it.
Always worth it.
They're going to be sponsoring my leaks soon.
Nice.
It's Opie and Anthony.
That sound low to you guys or no?
Now it's loud.
See, if we were rebels, we would play it real loud.
That's right. Tell everybody to rock.
But we're a little scared, so it should be at this level. We're scared, so let's just keep it at this level.
Right.
Welcome back to the timid Opie and Anthony show. Jesus.
Let's say hi to Kevin in Florida. Kevin.
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Hi.
I first want to start off with saying I really enjoy your show. I know you don't care, but I really do.
Thank you.
You know what? We do care. Okay. I just tore down one of the walls there of radio. We do care. We care too much. We like to have fun with you guys and hang up on you and do all that crap. But guess what? In the end, we do care. So thanks, Kev.
What, sir?
Okay. And Jimmy, I saw you in West Palm Beach. I think you killed.
Oh, thank you.
And just one thing, Jimmy. I mean, you have to eat on the air, bro. I mean, it's one thing to hear you eat, but to hear you swallow, I just hear you getting fatter over the air, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I? You know what it was? Hold on. I try not to. Sometimes it's hard because I'm a growing boy. But today there was a very long first break, and I had to have my blueberries, and I had to have. But I'm not getting fatter, sir.
No,
a little compliment for somebody who's been hitting the old heavy bag.
Excuse me, who turned you on to the blueberries? You weren't eating blueberries before me.
God.
And what about the pink grapefruit you're now eating? Yeah, exactly.
Blueberries and grapefruit.
Exactly.
To eat the worst fruit on the face of the earth.
Blueberries rule. No.
Blueberries are too tart. And grapefruit, don't even get me started. It's sour. You're eating a sour orange.
But it's good for you.
Oranges are sweet and luscious.
They suck.
Grapefruits are horrid.
Oh, God.
Oranges are quick.
Hey, how about you phone in with your favorite fruit, people?
I was just about to say, here comes another memo. See, proving my point. You can only talk about fruit now.
It's Favorite Fruit Thursday. Should be Friday because that would be the triple F, Favorite Fruit Friday.
All right, Kevin, so your point is?
The point is, man, I would just let this go, man. You guys are giving this guy too much time. I listened to quite a few talk shows. Yeah, I understand. Everybody's lost a lot of freedom in the radio business, man. It's very unfortunate. I would just let it go and just do your show. I wouldn't give this jackass...
Well,
I wouldn't even say his name anymore, man.
It's interesting when we get calls like you, because like we get this when we talk about Howard. Let's say, just let it go. We do let things go. Today we're not. Today it's our thing. It got under our skin, and it didn't get under my skin in the way John thinks. He goes, I obviously got to. Yeah, you got to me because you were hiding behind emails. You didn't call, and half the shit was dripping of. Oh,
you got 15 more minutes before you can say that, Opie.
Oh, never mind. All right. Well, the whole email was dripping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it was so natural.
I didn't even catch it, dude.
Oh, it just came right across.
Because I didn't explain myself. He got to me because I hate passive-aggressive people that hide behind keyboards. Everyone knows that. I hate these people on message boards that have no problem like trashing you personally or the show, but they just hide.
Yeah.
They hide. And that's what John did. He could have called me at any time if he had some kind of problem. We did talk, here and there when he was the PD of this radio station. And that's where he got me. Yes, you're absolutely right.
To Kevin saying just do the show and don't give him the time of day or don't entertain him or whatever, that's what we were doing. If we had talked about this every time we got an email or saw a posting on a message board or something like that, you'd have really heard us going off.
But he went on the New York radio message board and
pretty much the day after the format change,
and he trashed us, and we didn't even give it a minute on our show.
I read that post, and I ask anybody because I talked to a lot of people about it. I was trying to figure out a way that maybe he was being sarcastic or trying to be funny, but I wasn't getting it. Like, I couldn't possibly fathom that he had these feelings based on what I had seen the day before, and the way he acted around us during the time he spent here with us, and the way he acted on his last day here. And pretty much that night, I saw a posting on a message board, and I'm like, is that really Minnelli? And did he really write that? And am I reading this properly? And I didn't respond to it because I couldn't possibly fathom that he would have done something like that. So, juvenile, pretty much, posting on a message board like that.
And, I wrote him back just with a simple, was this you? Never got a response. And he talks about how I knew info that he didn't, and I didn't give it to him and all that. You know that the last day that he was employed, or the day that Tom had that meeting in the conference room and announcing to the staff that they were changing formats and he invited John, which was a professional thing to do. And that was cool of Tom. You know that John walked in here, looked us all in the eyes, shook our hands and stuff. If he obviously had a problem before then, but this is what I mean about passive aggressive. He had that chance. We were eye to eye. And what did I get? A handshake and a pretty much good luck to you guys. This sucks, blah, blah, blah. That's all. That's all we got that day. He could say whatever he wanted right in my face. And that's what got under my skin and got me pissed today. All that crap. I hate it and always have. I put myself in ridiculous situations because I speak my mind. Ridiculous situations. And then you get people that hide on message boards and they think they're cool. They never show their face or use their real names. Can't even show their real picture. There's guys on our fan sites. They show their sig pic.
Yeah,
and some of these guys trash us. Guess what? I respect you. I absolutely respect you because you got an opinion, you're speaking your mind, and you're doing it in your real voice with your real face.
Yeah.
Not with some made-up screen name with a picture of Chuck Connors because you're like a 90...
Connors again.
Because you're some 90-pound weakling hiding behind a keyboard. So you have to beef yourself up with some picture of somebody else that you wish you were.
Yeah, 90-pound weekly, not our listeners.
Well, didn't you say Chuck Connor earlier?
30-pound weekly.
Yeah, did you say Chuck Connor?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going back to that.
I put it in the air.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Please, I'm glad someone else used it.
Obviously, Chuck Norris was what I was getting at there.
I love Chuck Connors.
And the other thing, because this has taken over the show, John, how great does John think we are? And look, this is not me saying this, okay? This is kind of an observation. How great does John think we are that we could actually call it in on a radio show, make really good money, and be syndicated across America and be heard on XM, and no one fires us?
Yeah. It's not like we're on for 6 months and then we get the boot. We go years with a job.
Right.
It's not like 6 months and then we get another gig 6 months later somewhere else. We are employed until we screw up and get fired, usually with very good ratings and a very bad reputation.
Look, things might change, but the reason we're still on the air is because we have a value to this company. No one gets a chance in radio to just call it in.
Imagine if they're talking about like firing us.
Well, if
right
they
now,
do,
and they're telling us after the show, wouldn't that suck?
that would be, you know what?
How embarrassing!
It would be hilarious.
It would really be funny, but
we would laugh so hard behind the scenes, but then in front of TV we'd have to cry and make believe we're bummed out. But now we got our days free and we can do whatever the hell we want with all the money that we have in the bank. What did I say?
I don't know, but I'd like to.
What?
I don't want my days free.
But I bought a couple of too many toys. I need more money.
I bought a BlackBerry and I'm nervous.
Do you realize, and I'm not going for a woe is me, I'm really sick this week. Really sick. My throat actually was closing up. I thought I had to go to the emergency room.
I know. I felt a little tinge. It hurt me.
And the reason I'm here is because we are paranoid, and we don't. You don't even get the chance to call it in when you're sick.
No.
We rarely take sick days because we're paranoid. You can't. We don't even have that luxury.
You know what calling it in is? Playing a Jim Brewer bit 45 minutes before the show is over so you can go home. No, that's what we used to do at NEW.
That's what's so funny about, like, where we sit. That's why a lot of this is so funny, because there's so much inside crap that it takes forever to explain. But yeah, back in the day at NEW, we actually kind of called it in.
Do you remember
when we had huge ratings and we're like, hey, you know what? We could kind of slide a little bit today. I want to go play golf or whatever it was. So yeah, let's just blow off the last 45 minutes of our show.
Remember when we did a bit and we decided, like maybe 2 hours later, we'd replay it again?
Yeah.
And then replay it again the next day?
Yeah.
Does anyone remember those days?
Right.
When out of the 4 hours of radio that we did, we probably did 2?
Yeah. Yeah, we would get a great bit in the first 15 minutes. We would play, sometimes we'd play it twice.
Play it twice, and then again the next day, of course.
We had this rule where we would play things 3 or 4 times before we thought the audience got sick of it. You know what?
We'd throw a friggin' song on sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just go, you know something? There's a new song out. Here's a band. We really just want to kind of play this. Boom, that song would go on.
You know that we rarely replay things now? I mean, the whole XM replay thing is its own entity.
That's different. It's not.
But as far as a bit we do on the show and then actually replaying it, we rarely do that compared to what we used to do.
No, it's at least 5 hours of just straight through talk radio. That's it.
But I mean,
phoning it in.
It's so unprofessional for him.
That is an insult.
That's him just trying to get under his skin because he knows that's impossible in radio. No one gets the opportunity to just phone it in. You just can't.
Yeah.
There's too much at stake.
Michelle Trachtenberg have a nose job? Did she get a nose job?
Is that which one is she?
She was in Harriet the Spy as a little girl, and then she was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Who's the chick with the big neck on CW11? There's a girl with a...
Whoa, giraffe neck.
Look at the size of her neck.
She's a very famous actress, but I can't...
What was she in?
Think of her name or what she's...
Than knows. Than knows. Just go to Than.
What's her biggest movie? Impossible to Strangle? God almighty. I've never seen a bigger neck on a person.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, never mind. I don't remember her name.
Than, I'm sorry.
She was in Basic Instinct. She was the nice girl that ends up getting blamed for everything.
Basic Instinct?
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
What a reference. John Manelli's not happy with you. That's a movie that's 20 years old.
How did you know she was in that?
Opie.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. We were with
Kevin's still on.
Sorry, Kevin.
Can I say one more thing, man?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt you. Down here in Florida, we got like half a dozen local radio stations, and we got quite a few, syndicated, like the Lex and Terry Show, Bob and Tom, the Piece of Crap Man Cow. We got all that down here. I click you guys on at 6 o'clock every morning. I love the show. You guys are always topical. You hit on what's interesting all the time. You never go on tangents except for when it comes time to what you can and cannot say on radio. And, I mean, I know you guys can. I mean, and everybody's limited, but you guys are pushing the envelope to as far as you can go, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome. So I just want to say, you guys doing one hell of a job, and I just say keep it up, and I wouldn't worry about, What happened?
Jesus,
Well,
how
we
long
love
are you
this
going
man.
to go on about this?
Thank you.
We kind of needed Kevin's phone call today.
We need to feel good.
We were feeling bad about ourselves. So, thank you, Kevin.
John made us feel bad.
But see, we control the direction of the show. If we're feeling like we're backed into a corner, we'll take positive calls about the show.
Yes.
Can I
What? Just to help our Ricos.
This is
What happened?
very bad story.
Yeah? Is it?
Pennsylvania crossing guard faces 1,000 sex charges and assaults against 7 children.
1,000 sex charges.
He's a crossing guard. Anyone who likes working around kids, you're a creep. On
Yeah, I think
some
so.
level.
Because most people don't like kids, especially, if they're your own kids, that's one thing. You kind of got to like them, I guess. But to work around children that aren't your own, why?
To want to do that, to want to go out there with a sign that says stop while vehicles are going, to allow a bunch of kids who don't like you, they think you're a creep, and in this case, they're right.
1,000 times over.
What do you want to do for a living? I don't know. In all weather, I'd like to stand outside in a slicker. I'd like to wear a
galoshes.
slicker with glowing strips on and use my body as a sandbag to protect these little shits.
That's whatever.
Why not?
At this point, it's screw it. Hey, is it a he or a she?
Oh, it's a guy. Women
It's a
don't.
guy.
Women
So
don't.
why did the guy use his own advice that's on that sign? Stop.
He probably looked at that like a message. God. But yet, whenever it was turned to go, he would give them all a little smack on the ass with it as they crossed the street. What a ghoul.
No, he didn't actually have a stop sign. He would hold up a proceed with caution.
By the way, Patty McGee from Jersey.
Hey, Patty McGee, don't you know?
Faithful listener of the show. You douches used to play effing foosball during the show.
Ah, those were the days.
It really was. Anthony would be outside like William Holden, sucking down beers.
Just drinking, smoking, playing foosball. Those were the days.
I think he smoked dope. And I looked for prostitutes on Craigslist in Ben's office. It was awful.
That was our show.
That was the show. And Ken would walk around in his stupid tie and wonder how he could get rid of me.
Because he'd be around once every month. Ken, our boss would check in. You guys all right? Yeah, okay, goodbye. And there he is with his baggage flying off to Washington or Philly or whatever.
Right.
And we'd have the run of the joint.
Oh, boy, did we.
You're right. Those were the days for us.
I hated every single person that was working on the show. It was just such a weird time, man.
But you guys were...
God forbid I got some happiness in my life and I'm enjoying myself more.
But as far as the station underperforming, I do have to say, even at the peak of the ratings, I mean, you guys were killing.
Well,
and it was a tough sell then, even.
That's the inside stuff that, I mean, if we had hours, we could do this. Like when John goes, I got fired because you guys were, you didn't perform better than you were. Mm-hmm. That's crazy because at NEW, we were the only station. Well, Ron and Fez at the end were doing very well, yes. And people weren't losing their jobs. They weren't changing formats. They just kept trying new shows.
Yeah. Over and over and
over. There were basically no ratings in all the other day parts except for Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
And they took a little time for traction. But the company believed in them and knew they had something.
Yep.
The company, unfortunately, did not believe in a lot of the shows they had on this station, John. You know that.
John and Jeff, though, we got to get them back.
Yes.
It's so weird to walk in here and hear music playing.
And not that babble.
They even grew on me in a weird way. Like, you ever listen to this? Sometimes there's just people who you'd kind of like to murder, and yet you can listen to them on the way in.
By the way, we didn't do any perv news today. Here's a quickie before we go off the air.
A New Jersey lawyer with some big political connections is free without bail this morning, accused of lewd behavior. Now, cops say Christopher Dahl sexually gratified himself in front of 2 women at a Flemington shopping center. They say he was wearing nothing but glasses, socks, and a hands-free headset. A witness wrote down Dahl's license plate number as he drove off and later picked him out of a lineup. Dahl served in a variety of state posts.
How'd they pick him out of a lineup? He was the one nude man with a wireless headset? God almighty, good thinking.
And socks on and glasses.
Hands free. Glasses, you gotta love this guy.
Why don't we, maybe we can start with this tomorrow, because there's so much to this. It's that whole perv switch we like talking about.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's hard to go.
Oh, well.
If you want to join us at the other place, feel free.
You don't have to.
But,
Oh, there it is. Somebody leaked his memo.
No.
That memo couldn't drip out.
No. No. He needed us to send it to Alan because he was too scared of the agreement he made with the company.
Oh, there it is.
But he's going to try to claim that he's an aggressive person. Do you understand what I've been saying today? So he actually had to go to us and tell Alan to ask us if we could send it in to Alan. Guess what? Opie and Anthony sent that memo to Alan Sniffen.
Alan says, here's the text of John's final critique of O&A that was forwarded to me, and then it says, not by John.
Yeah, but John will claim he's aggressive. Really, John? It sounds like you kind of like money, too.
Hey, what's the matter, John? Why didn't you just send it?
What's wrong with liking money, John?
Come on.
Looks like you like your own money.
What's the matter?
Because if you're an aggressive person, you should have sent it right over to Alan. But instead, you blind CC'd everyone, didn't you?
When you
and had little secret discussions as you're drinking your Mountain Dew in the middle of the night, you weirdo.
When you read this, just notice the dripping sarcasm and just bitterness in this. And I'm saying I will have a response on that very message board to his critique. I said it on the air, but I'll put it in text form and write that down as a response.
Wearing suits that they wore in Dealey Plaza, you weirdo. And you want to be this rebel. How about you dress like one? But you're aggressive, right? Yeah, I see it. I see it. You're aggressive. Everything you do proves you're not. Blind CC, blind CC. Call me on the secret number. If this gets out, I'll lose the money. And the agreement I made with the company. Blind CC, blind CC. Send. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Let me use my top secret email that only a few people know. You're a phony.
This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show. The virus is spreading.
Can I have a cup of coffee, please? It's skim milk. Thanks.
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. Right here.
We can't control anything, so that music's blasting as hard as start the show.
We can't control that music?
Like radio.
Turn that down a little,
I guess I could turn it down like this.
Oh, that works.
But then I have to turn it back up for the phone calls.
Oh.
Say it's on the same pot.
Who turns it down?
Pot.
They could turn it down at the other joint.
I have a phone call and you want some pot?
Oh, what?
Why?
What
happened, E-Rock?
What? Hold on, what?
It screws with the relay.
What if we want it off right now?
I think they might lose us.
All right, who's running the Rage Against the Machine music?
Butch is right now.
All right, why didn't Butch turn it down when it was obvious that we needed it turned down?
Because he's a douchebag.
Certainly. He's probably busy rapping.
You guys are getting ripped apart by Mike North this morning. Oh. It's so funny. Who's Mike North?
The guy from
yesterday.
He's the guy from yesterday on the...
Oh, really?
670 the score.
Oh. What is he? Go ahead, attack their Pal Talk room again, everybody. Thank you, please.
Listen.
Just pound him.
Could someone get me Mike North's phone number?
He's the guy who was in Chicago.
Where's Mike North? Pal Talk is another room raid on Mike North's Pal Talk room.
I don't even know who he is.
He's the guy in Chicago who
did the Pal Talk thing. Now I know, but I mean, I don't know him by name.
Yeah. What is it, 670?
I'll invite you.
Yeah, invite me. Let me look. I'm going to get bounced. Well, let's see how long it takes me to get bounced when I'm going to plug obscenities just in here. Okay. Let me see. Mike is a cunt. There it is. I'll just copy paste, and see how long it takes me to get
All right. Well,
booted.
Scott Owen from Chicago. What is he saying? You can't just say you guys are getting ripped apart by Mike North this morning. It's so funny. What is he saying?
Yeah, what's he saying? Huh?
I wish there's no way to leave that on top, right?
No.
I know. It's not your fault, sweetie. I'm sorry.
Wow, still no walkover. Calling in the XM show once again. 9:15 to 10:45 with 2 commercial breaks.
First of all, we can't do a
Fucking
walkover.
hack, ass bitches, lame ass fuckwads, complain.
We can't do a walkover when we're in the same building. They're doing the studio. Why am I yelling?
I bet this gets to you, huh, Greg? Yep. It got to me. That's why I read it.
Mike North, I want to see his Pal Talk room. Eric's trying to get the contact information.
You know the worst thing is all my pals from Pal Talk are in this room. All the admins, Gary's in here, and everybody. Mm-hmm. And I'm just copy and pasting Mike is a cunt over and over again.
Aren't you going to get banned?
Yeah, they're going to bounce me from the room, I'm sure. I don't care.
This is a G-rated room.
It's a G-rated room.
Yeah. G for garbage.
Oh, God. All right,
All right,
let's go to George in Chicago. George, what's up?
Hey there, George.
George.
Yeah.
Are you there?
During your last commercial break on FM side, Mike North, I was flipping around. He was saying you guys are tools, that you guys are kind of creation of Joel Hollander, and it's not working here in Chicago. And also that you guys are supposed to be so cutting edge. You know, what are they going to apologize for next? He's just a douche.
Is that the best he has?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, because whatever.
All right.
Oh, apparently they got me on some kind of a filter.
Yeah, can't see you.
Fuckers, I wrote all that Mike is a cunt for nothing? Shit. How do you do that one?
Well, can you write something? Maybe they're filtering certain words, so just write something nice. Mike's a goose.
See, we're too lazy to figure out that you could do that. And we could do that in our own Pal Talk
we
room?
don't care, right? Wait a minute. I'll write hi. There, did that show through? Your text message is calling disabled from the room. Oh, they disabled text from me.
Oh, yeah, they should have. You're a little potty mouth.
Bastard.
XM boy.
So, know what's interesting about guys like Mike North? He says that we're not working in Chicago and all that, right? But he gets this Pal Talk idea from the Opie and Anthony show. I mean,
yeah.
The hypocrisy just amazes me. If we're not working, then why are you just taking the Pal Talk idea? If we're not working, we're on your radar in some way, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris in Chicago, what's up? And once again, if we're not working in Chicago, then get rid of us in Chicago. I beg the company, get rid of us in Chicago if we're not working. We've been on the air for over a year in Chicago. Radio shows don't get the chance to do a year in a city. Chris? Maybe an overnight guy because no one's listening, but morning guys don't get a year unless something's happening. Chris, what's going on? Sorry.
I don't know if you guys know, but Mike North started out as a hot dog vendor.
A hot dog vendor.
Did he?
Really?
We serve him with his mouth or up his ass.
On the north side of Chicago.
He went around with a hot dog up his hiney hole.
Sports, and they gave him airtime. So, yeah,
his number.
Don't get him on the phone.
Why does he need 4 Pal Talk admins in that room? There are 4 of them. Red name. Those are the big bosses. And actually, like, the owner of Pal Talk, I think, is in that room.
Probably because he was getting killed yesterday.
Yesterday.
And he's probably threatened to complain on the radio if they didn't do something. Here's his number, 312-644-6767. 312-644-6767.
Have fun.
Serious calls only.
Have fun.
But that's probably because he had to complain that he got destroyed in his own room.
Have fun taking your calls now.
And he's saying...
Love a good battle.
And he's saying that we're not doing well in Chicago. He's on the AM dial almost as low as you go.
Come on.
Pal Talk has bounced Doug from the chat room.
Everyone's bounced.
Of course they are.
Thank you, Dougie. Thank you, Dougie.
Anything you say that's terrible, I'm sorry.
What's great is that...
good luck, bro.
They came into our room, the Pal Talk admins, yesterday to remind us that it's a G-rated room and to not use obscenities. Fuck them. Fuck Mike North in his fuckhole.
Hey, that's what I say.
I like saying it.
But I don't have
Can I use it?
I don't have many things.
I'll toss you a couple of bucks.
I got to protect the things I got from
All
the
right.
show because I don't have many.
He can take
Fuck his
hike.
mouth. Or that, Jimmy.
That's why fuck him in his fuckhole is so much better. But it's mine.
Fiddlesticks.
But it's mine. I copyrighted
That one.
it and everything.
All right. I won't use it.
T-shirt's coming from my brother, I'm sure.
He's a wet end. He can get bent.
I don't care if the Pal Talk bosses think that it's a G-rated room and we can't go in there. If that guy's going to go on the air and bash us, we can go into his Pal Talk room and say whatever we want. Fuck him.
Travis
Fuck him.
talking to his producer
Why?
to get Mike on the phone.
Oh, to get him on the phone?
Travis flirting?
I'd rather our listeners just beat him up. He ain't worth our fucking airtime. Bastard.
Are they throwing people out just writing pro-ONA stuff? Or
We'll just curse on the air and get him thrown off. We'll curse on the air and get him fined.
Well, you can't curse in the room. How about... oh, no, that wouldn't be allowed.
You can't curse in the room, but you could have anal sex, so that makes sense.
Any jackers allowed? Do we have anyone that wants to get on cam and jack in his room? You want to jack, Jim?
I certainly do.
All right.
Who haven't I jacked in front of?
That'd be really fucking funny. This idiot's talking and someone's just jacking off in his room.
Hey, somebody ought to go into some of the fucking adult rooms and like where they're all jacking and say you should see all the girls licking pussy in this room or something, and then get all these fucking jackers to go into his room and stroke their delicious, uncut, fucking suicide bombing cocks.
Mike North Morning Show on MySpace.
Eric, you don't have to raise your hand. You're a part of the show.
Mike North Morning Show on MySpace.
We have
Shut up.
Have fun with that one.
Yes, useless.
We have an update. At 9:40, he wants to talk to you live on both shows.
9:40, we're going to talk to Opie and Al today.
At 9:40.
9:40 a.m. Is it 9:40 our time or their time? It's Chicago.
Everyone's going in and raising their hand on his... Look at all the raised.
They all want to chip in.
They all want to say hi.
Where's his? How come the audio's not? Why is it not scrolling? They're not allowing anybody to talk.
No one else can talk. And they froze the text.
Oh, can they do that?
We're ruining his little Pal Talk show.
Pal Talk experiment is bombing.
Yeah, and it should bomb. I think we work for the same company, by the way.
Do we?
I don't give a shit.
Then he's a great guy.
No, stop.
Fuck him.
Jason and Rye, faithful listener of the Opie and Anthony show. Boy, do we all come together when we have to.
Yep.
And then we can go back to hating each other. We'll hate you guys. You'll hate members of the show. But when we need each other, boy, we come together. We're like the Irish. We're like Irish brothers.
Irish brothers.
You beat the crap out of each other, but someone tries to beat one of you up, then you gang together.
That's it.
That's this show in a nutshell. What's up, Jason?
Hey, man. There's a couple of guys downstairs from Canada. We were wondering if there was any way we could come up and watch the show somewhere.
How many chicks are with them?
They got chicks?
No, it's Sausage Fest.
No, eh?
Wait, what part of Canada?
What part of Canada?
I don't know. That's the other guys. I was down here because I'm in town for something.
Tell the Canadian guys if they will butt rub.
Yeah.
A butt rub gets them in the studio.
Yep. If they take their cocks out and jump up and down.
To get upstairs?
Is that too much?
What? Will you guys do the butt rub to get upstairs? There's guys bending over.
Wow, this is a weird one. I'll read all the weird ones today. Opie, you douche. Who gives a shit if Mike North is utilizing fucking Pal Talk? You fuckers attacked North first, for no reason. Opie, you bring nothing to the O&A show, with the exception of attacking defenseless people.
I think that's
so you're saying Mike North is defenseless?
Huh? What?
Thanks, Jimmy. But I also do fuck them in their fuckhole.
But the attack was because he kind of claimed that he was like one of the first.
Yeah, he was bragging in the press about it.
That was the problem. Wasn't he? Of course he could use Pal Talk. We would encourage other shows.
All right, hey, would you blow me? Wow, I bet you that's what it says on your license.
Ew, hey, would you blow me?
From the school of John Manelli, I guess.
Wait,
John,
that sounds like...
John Manelli is your mentor. Hide behind outrageous names that we used to say in 3rd grade.
But
type whatever the fuck you want.
Hey, would you blow me sounds like, hey, would you blow me? That's
I know.
not a real name.
Oh, is that what the joke is on that?
That's what makes it so crazy.
I never understood that one.
That's what makes it so crazy.
It was just a wacky name.
Yeah.
Who's named Haywood?
I'm sure Mike Hunt is going to be instant feedback any minute now.
How come it's not scrolling in Pal Talk? How come Pal Talk's not scrolling? I was going to read some of them for the listeners so they don't just hear us talking about Pal Talk.
No, they're frozen. Jason, are they going to butt rub or what?
They said they'll do it. With Jimmy, right?
No, with each other. What am I, fruit?
With each other?
I love how people just assume that every butt rub has to happen
It's
with
gotta
Jimmy.
be Jimmy.
Absolutely. I mean, I understand that people want that as my ass is smooth and delicious.
I just love it, though. It's not even a hesitation. With Jimmy, right? Yeah. You know, we all know. He's the fruit that likes butt rubbing for real. It's not for the radio.
No. That was Opie talking.
Let's say hi to Dugout Doug. Doug.
What's up, guys?
Hello, Douglas.
Do we love you or hate you today? I don't know where we're at.
I don't know. I can barely hear you, though.
Yeah, well, why would the phones work?
The sound's all fucked up.
Why would the phones work? We've just been asking for a few days to get the volume up in the phones, and of course Doug's going to keep talking because he can barely hear us, because he's usually really good at this type of thing. He never talks over us when we're trying to do our radio show, proving that XM still hasn't figured out the fucking phones.
Doug, what were you saying?
I said, I want to thank you guys for the little on-air mention before about getting bounced from that room. Because about 20 seconds afterwards, I got banned from Pal Talk completely.
Why?
I have no idea. I got bounced from the O&A live room, and then it said I was no longer allowed to join any groups. So I don't know if there's any other fans out there that were in the score room that got bounced and banned.
Well, they absolutely shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, Pal Talk's going to start, do you think that Mike North is giving you more than the O&A show?
That room's got like 10 people in it until we raid it.
Hey, by the way, first of all, Mike Hunt on Instant Feedback. Did someone say my name? And then Greg from Philly, hilarious. And good idea leaving the calls to Mike North to the past. Knowing you might wind up just talking about the White Sox pitching rotation woes before getting your shots in.
Yeah, true.
So what's going to happen there, Dougie?
How'd you get banned?
I can barely hear at all.
How did you get banned?
I have no idea. About 20 seconds after you guys, I think you said it, Jimmy. You said,
yeah, the last thing I saw was that you got bounced out of the room, so I figured you said something.
No, I actually was just sitting in there. I think I plugged my website once.
Wow.
But, yeah, I got bounced from that room, and then I got bounced from the live room after you said it on the air, and then I was banned completely.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the 4 red admins in there can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
IP Freely from New Jersey, he's writing in.
IP Freely?
Opie, I think you're just dandy.
Ah.
Thank you, IP.
What an odd name.
No,
I wonder what his initials are.
No, if it's a compliment, then they are using their real name.
Yes.
I figured that out a long time ago.
Irving Patrick? Freely, probably, something like that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see, Chicken Shit from Albuquerque says Opie sucks. So
Chicken Shit?
Just a guy hiding. But if it was Chicken Shit, Opie's great, then obviously his name really is
really
Chicken
odd.
Shit. Sure. All right, Doug, well, what are we going to do about this? How you get back in there? I don't know this stuff. Doug?
I don't know. We'll have to see what the red admins say. They're never in our room.
Oh, my God. Mike
I can hear
seems
Anthony. Hey, this is like the old days of XM when no one could hear anything.
Yeah, it's I don't blame XM for having crappy phones because, they only found out like 2 days ago that they were redoing our studio and we would be displaced for, a month and a half. So I don't blame them. It was a last-minute thing that they realized they had to take care of. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, that has to be fixed by tomorrow.
That's right. Or Monday.
Yeah, sure. How is our call going to go with Mike North if we can't hear us? It's good. We're going to look silly. Bastards. I got a wedding to go to today. I'm all excited about.
Amanda Hug and Kiss from Whackbag.
Amanda Hug and Kiss?
I'm a fan of Only You, and I hear you were looking for me. That's her real name because it's a compliment.
It's a him. Amanda Hug and Kiss.
No, Amanda.
Amanda
Hug and Kiss.
But if you're out of last name Hug and Kiss, why would you call your daughter Amanda?
Because their parents were hippies.
Oh, it's like a joke almost, a joke name.
Yeah.
Are there red admins?
Ivana Tinkle from FBA says, "Hey, leave Haywood alone. I think his name is funny."
Uh-oh. Gary from Pal Talk, get the fuck out of my room. Get the fuck out of my room. Can I bounce him?
Now, this is very...
I'm trying to use my bounce powers. They don't work against the red admin. You do not have sufficient access to bounce the user. Oh, my God. He's like the Death Star. Holy shit. I can't bounce Gary.
These bastards has figured out a way to get to me still.
Here we go. Hold on. I got it. Close room.
What?
Boom. He's bounced. Now
you can't close our room.
No, now I'll reopen it.
Oh, all right. By the way, these fucking...
There we go.
Too many things go on. By the way, they figured out... They figured around my little scheme here. I got a dilemma.
What?
Well, now we got a guy, his name is Opie is a cunt. And it has to be his real name because he says Opie is great. So now what do I do?
Oh, man.
There's a guy out there whose real name is Opie is a cunt.
Cunt is great. We all love cunt. Who doesn't love cunt? Get those hands up.
You fuckers, you figured it out.
That's tough.
Well, alcoholic. Hey, guys, love you, love the show.
Alcoholic.
Buster Hyman, love the show. Say, has to be his real name if it's a compliment. Claude Balls, Opie rule.
Claude Balls?
Yes.
Is that his name?
The Claude Balls. Yes. Barry McCockiner, Opie, you're the greatest. So.
Barry? Wait a minute. Barry McCockiner?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
It has to be his real name because he's giving a compliment to me, so.
He says that Mike North says we're calling him because we must need some listeners.
Oh, stop with that one, that old gag.
That old gag? He's going with that old gag?
Oh.
He's going with that old gag?
That is an old gag.
I mean, I'm not sure what we should talk to him about.
Let me see.
I'm not sure.
First thing.
What?
I'm not sure what we should say to him, like, on the air, but I think we can handle it responsibly.
All right.
Doug,
where is he?
Doug?
4 minutes.
4 minutes?
4 minutes? All right.
All right, Doug, we're going to let you go because you can't really hear us. Doug?
Yeah.
Dan in Pennsylvania. Dan?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Dan.
Hey, I just want to say, when you guys first went over to FM, you said, give it a chance, it's going to be great, it's going to make the show better.
Yep.
But with the censorship getting worse and worse, I mean, you guys are afraid to talk about anything nowadays.
Yep.
And now you're just goofing off on the XM show, not really doing anything.
Yeah.
It was better back in the day. I'm sorry, guys, I love you.
Back in the day. When is the day?
Yeah, a lot of people like to say back in the day.
Oh, when we first came on XM.
Wow, I disagree. I think when we first came on XM, we were very young and didn't really know what we were doing.
Right.
But if that's what you think, then so be it. What can I tell you?
You're right. You know something? Play that Carlin bit. Play the Carlin House of Blues bit. Like when we first came on XM for 20 minutes. Remember those fucking comedy bits?
Jim Norton on Instant Feedback.
Yeah, they sucked.
I don't think Opie is funny at all, and I think they should promote that other sweet boy in studio. Now, see, this can't be Jim Norton because...
I have a BlackBerry.
Did you really write that?
No, I don't know how to fucking see the keys.
Did you really write that?
Here's the dilemma with my BlackBerry. Someone can help me. All right, we'll get to some business here.
Speaking of calling it in, listen to this radio wisdom coming up there, Dan.
I cannot see the keys. I'm like an old man. I bought the new BlackBerry yesterday because I figured it would get me laid. A chick would see me with this. And the fucking keys, I can't see them. I can't see them.
How do you not see? You sound like an old man.
Because they have little...
I can't see them.
They're glowing little blue keys. I can't see them. Where's Hope going?
You might be colorblind.
He's got to take a piss.
No, I'm not. Oh.
Since we're just phoning it in, he decided he was just going to take a piss. Since that gentleman that just called said we were just phoning in. I'm waiting for the iPhone. There's a good discussion because people, Pal Talk is upset with us because of something with them and CBS. Really?
Something that should be read verbatim on the...
Don't you understand? Well, I want to say to Pal Talk, don't you understand? We're having fun. It's fun. It's fun to listen to Opie piss. As it better not sting that much.
Jesus, how much beverage does he have in the morning?
Room raids are hysterically fun. And so what? You got to take some time to bounce some shit out. It's not like this guy had Pal Talk last week. It's new to him. Let him enjoy what it's like to get your room raided. It happens. Pal Talk, lighten up a little bit. Don't worry about it so much. Don't take yourself seriously now. We were all having fun, Pal Talk. It was all a big goof and everything. Don't go thinking you're fucking Google, okay? Relax. Have some fun. We have fun with Pal Talk. Don't make me get on the air and say 99% of the fucking rooms are full of Arabs jacking their fucking cocks.
I know. Why I joined?
I just brought up something I enjoy personally.
That's right.
Don't worry about it.
By the way, speaking of Continental, which I always fly, how great is it that liquid shit was fucking trailing down the aisle?
Jimmy, I thought of you when I heard this story because Jimmy is a big proponent of Continental Airlines. He has actually gotten all of us to book Continental all the time.
Yes.
And whenever I hear something happen with Continental, I think of Jimmy and what he would do put in that situation. Jimmy, you're flying.
Yes.
Raw fucking sewage from the bathrooms starts gushing and sloshing down the aisles.
That's right.
What do you do?
I take off my shoes and I dance like Scatman Crothers singing Minnie the Moocher. I scat in it.
Scat in the scat.
Like, yeah, I take my feet, I kind of do like the side shuffle, like a shooby-dooby-doo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we gotta be clean.
Travis is calling Mike North now.
We gotta be clean.
It says, okay, we gotta be clean.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Do we have him? Talk loud because our phones are screwed up, remember?
Our phones are messed up.
Hello? They don't have to on that side, but we do.
Hello?
We gotta talk loud.
Hello? Hello?
You have a dump button over there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. How are you? Uh-huh. Hello?
Pal Talk's got to relax a little bit.
I agree.
Hello?
Don't get all uppity like it's the .com days.
Oh, a minute 30, Eric. All right, you
Hello?
Minute
30. Well, it's a minute 30, Opie.
Hello?
How was that piss? Hope you had a nice piss, Arnold.
That was a good
I got a tinkle, too.
But it's a minute 30.
Coming up in just 60 seconds on the Score.
60 seconds, Jimmy. Now, first of all, we didn't say we invented Pal Talk.
Who?
We utilize Pal Talk, and it's great.
Who?
It's a lot of fun. And if other stations want to do it, that's fine, too.
It's not fine.
But.
It's not fine.
But.
It's not fine.
Don't put out a press release like your fucking George Washington Carver of Pal Talk. See. Try to be diverse in my analogies. Jimmy, wow, that was a fast one. How was your cock?
Jimmy, what happened? You got shy, right?
What?
You got shy. You got...
Oh.
You got, you know what, shy.
Up. He's putting his cans on.
All right.
Yeah, putting my cans on. Eagerly awaiting. Oh, I forgot to put up the cameras of some of our listeners.
Morning show on the Score.
8:42 weather on the Score. Mostly cloudy today. We could get some rain this afternoon, especially later on this afternoon with some thunderstorms likely. Highs in the upper 80s, 40% chance of rain tonight, lows mid-60s, and another 40% chance of precipitation tomorrow. Highs tomorrow about 80 degrees. Currently at O'Hare, 73 at 74 at Midway, and Mike also 74 at the lake.
Casey looks
basically,
beautiful.
We were going to try to get Opie and Anthony on. We've been rebuffed by that. But I will also say this about Opie and Anthony. Okay,
wait, been rebuffed by
and everything else.
See, this is. Oh, let's hear.
They've been called worse, just like I have.
They have.
Come on.
You think they take pride in being called a tool by you?
What's up, Iraq?
Their management won't let us go on the phone because they don't think we can keep it clean.
So they said we've been rebuffed by them.
I'm a proud man.
They just lied and said that we've been rebuffed.
More of this.
Hammer and Eve?
I rarely hammer. I just hammer.
You hammer all over this land?
More of this phony radio crap. We didn't rebuff them. We're waiting right here.
We're waiting.
How do you think we're listening to the show? We're on hold.
You can't. Yeah, we're listening to the show on hold. How did we rebuff you? You stupid fuck.
I'm so glad that we were able to show that these guys are just a bunch of phonies.
Yes, Stan?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
You do a clean radio show for 3 hours a day.
We know how to keep it clean.
Looks like someone was scared of us.
Hold on, maybe the management can be convinced. Maybe they don't.
Oh, he did it himself.
Yeah, and he says at the end, he says, "Hey,
well, can you monitor their horse crap, please?"
We were rebuffed by them.
We're on hold. Watch, I'm now putting them on hold. They said
we're not.
God, these radio guys
they're
are a bunch
so
of fucking
phony. Oh, are they phony?
What?
Management's calling Travis right now to work it out so that they can put us on.
Well, at least we have our finest representative handling this.
Yeah, wow.
Jesus.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is, what was that we were rebuffed? Why did you lie to the audience right there? That's a great way to start off a conversation. Oh,
This is what
God.
radio's about. Guys could just go on the air and say whatever the fuck they want, and it's taken as fact. We just caught the guy in a lie. We're on hold waiting to go on the air with him, and he's saying that we rebuffed him. We might have rebuffed you if we had something else to do on this side of the show.
Why do they have Pal Talk, I wonder? It's not like he's showing his lovely hiney like Jimmy does.
Let's go to Jay. Jay, what's up?
Hey, Jay.
Jay.
Hello.
What's up, Jay?
What's going on?
What's up, Jay?
What's going on? Hello.
I hear you, Jay. Go, Jay.
All right.
Jay.
Holy mother of Jesus.
Can you hear us?
Jay, can you hear us?
Yes, definitely.
Then
fucking talk!
Why aren't you talking?
I'm talking into my fucking telephone. What is happening? I'm not understanding your language. Hello?
I want him dead. Jay, I so want this guy to die.
I think he's funny.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Jay, say what you want to say.
Yeah, what did you call for? Go.
The show used to be better. These guys had crazy fucking bands on there, the baseball bat challenge, fucking girls on the couch, all kinds of crazy shit.
Are you a member of that band? Because he's talking about everything that happened on one show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the show. What?
The band you had on there, they were running around beating each other with baseball bats and.
Jay, why don't you just say you're associated with that band?
Huh?
Why don't you just be honest and tell us how you're associated with that band?
I'm not associated with that.
You're lying.
Why? How am I lying?
Because they haven't been on in 2 years, and you're mentioning this like it happened 8 minutes ago.
I drive around in a fucking Saturn, perusing prostitutes.
Oh, God. See, I'm glad this guy doesn't like the show.
Thank you, Jay.
We don't like your show.
Let's go to Joe. Joe, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm here with my uncle. I turned him on to your show, and he absolutely loves it. You got a new fan here. We're going to keep spreading the virus.
Right on. What's his name?
Gary.
Let's talk to Gary.
Uncle Gary, go ahead.
How you doing? I love your show.
What do you like about the show, Uncle Gary?
I think you guys...
Uncle Gary doesn't know the show very well.
Can we discuss Continental Airlines?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Jimmy. You were talking about that.
Just the fact that...
Wait, I need a White Sox update, though.
Oh.
What's that, Pal Talk?
Against 48 other teams, out there at Bradley.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you guys have even broached this subject.
I found out there's air conditioning in the dorms, by the way.
But do you know...
I have to bring my own sheet.
Do you know if you're going to be 1A, 2A, 3A, or 4A? Because I think they're going to 4 divisions this year.
The most dreadful mistake made. Indiana basketball now is no longer relevant because
this is why I hate sports talk.
No, I like that.
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
They're talking about how many divisions they're going to?
First year, you should have the 2 classes, A and AA. I'll continue to toot my horn on that. This is a depth now.
It's wrong.
For basketball.
Do you know which one you guys are going to fit into?
No, I love. You're in your car going, that's what I think. A and AA. God, someone's finally saying it.
It should be 2 classes.
This is why I hate sports talk.
I mean, people won't know. And
I'm a sports fan.
He didn't want to toot his own horn.
Public league schools, I would think, aren't going to be the biggest one.
Right.
Well,
that can be because some of those schools don't have as many kids.
Right. Exactly. Well, we'll see what happens. By the way, Opie and Anthony, I understand, are listening to our show live. We wish them nothing but the best.
Oh, that's nice.
But I can't believe they're mad about me calling them Tool. I've been called a million things. So
we're not mad because you call. Oh my!
I love that he called us a tool. I call myself a tool.
A lot of things worse.
Well, what have we been called?
Yeah, same thing.
I don't know because no one knows you. I love how these guys try to lump themselves into our success. We've been called worse. I don't even know your name. You know ours.
I didn't know they called us tools.
Good for them.
I really didn't know either.
You know what? If we get them on, okay, you know what? Maybe we should get them on. Maybe I'll talk management into doing it. What do you think, Fred?
That's up to you.
God, should I go in there and state my case?
To be honest, if they join us, it would be the first.
Because they're already talking to management.
I listen to them all the time when they were on before.
I know.
They're on at night on TKG. When they were first here in the market, they were on at night.
Yeah,
I used to listen to them.
Right.
I was listening to White Sox baseball.
And then
the St. Patrick's thing.
The powers of persuasion to get two people to do that is pretty good. You have to give them credit.
Oh.
Consensual sex and appeal?
Yeah. At St. Patty's. That's pretty good.
That was a good bit.
That's a good radio.
It's always a good bit till you get fired. All right, it's 8:49.
Great admiration.
And then you get fired. You go, what the hell did we do that bit for? Well, this thing blew up fast. It's 8:49.
Oh, please get us on the air. This is like slapping around a third grader.
I think they like us.
I do too.
I think they like us.
I do too.
One place to go in this.
I don't think they have a problem with us at all.
Can I make a point? And this could be wrong.
The score.
We at times overreact. But wait, hold on. We here's what happened. He might have said this. Again, I didn't hear it, but he might have said, yeah, we're one of the first shows in the area to use the thing. He may not have avoided giving props. He may have actually said it, or he may have he said, because he didn't say we're the first.
I don't care about the props.
Why would we care?
I just think, let me tell you something. Here's my whole take on it. I think it's hysterically funny to have all of our dopey listeners plow into his room and screw with it. It's just fun. I don't know I don't even know his show.
But it shows he doesn't know fun, because if someone did that to us, we'd be laughing.
We'd laugh. And
then we'd be like,
try to find him and goof back.
And then we would attack back. That's how you do it. But to get the Pal Talk administrators in there to freeze everyone out.
I know. It's like, come on. Have a little fun with it.
But have fun, you ass. Stop talking about Division AA high school basketball.
Pop up some of the cameras and look at like people jerking.
It does seem like he likes the show, though.
Yeah.
And,
no, I'm not. I wouldn't get on there. If it was as serious like this guy was being an asshole thing, that's one thing. The guy's he's doing his show. He does seem to not give a shit. It doesn't seem like he doesn't like us.
We don't care that he called us tools.
And tools, I don't care about that.
That's a little.
He's right. We have been called a lot worse by our own program directors and ex-program directors.
And I don't know if it's a fact or not.
Bosses.
I may have done his show at one point.
Current bosses, past bosses.
I may have been on that show. I don't know.
Really?
I honestly don't remember. You know why I remember? I remember if it's the show I did, it's a while ago, and you get a cup. Like, he gave out like a little packet of stuff, like nice like cup and shirt and all this thanks for coming on. I don't remember, but as I'm seeing the logo, I'm like, do I have that cup in my...
Can I jump in?
Okay.
I just started laughing, because usually if you're a guest on our show, you pretty much get beat up, yelled at, made to look awful, and then we make sure you
get a plug.
And you get a kick in the ass on the way out the door.
And a plug. Here you go. Here's your hat. What's your hurry? Jizz buckets.
He gives out little, like gift bags.
If it's the guy I'm thinking of, he was I got to say
suck.
If it's the guy I'm thinking of,
yeah,
I did his show. He was very cool. He was very supportive, and he gave a nice thing when I left. If that's the guy. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it's sounding very familiar. It's more the logo. But I'm like, I think I remember that being on a cup I have.
Well, maybe we should give out gift bags.
No, yeah. With Eroc's colon pieces. We give a bag with a piece of Eric's colon. No disrespect, Eroc. I think people would like that. They could chew it like it's calamari.
Oh, what a mess. Should we take a break?
I want to know if first class had shit flooding through. Let's be honest. If you're in coach and there's liquid shit passing you by, the shit feels as disgusted by your presence as you do by it. Okay? But a first class passenger.
Yes. Should not have to deal with
I hope it happened on takeoff, so the shit went naturally backwards. I hope to God it didn't happen on the descent, where the front of the cabin would have been affected.
The pilot constantly kept the nose of the plane a little up.
Yes, our altitude, 96,000 feet.
It keeps climbing.
You got to keep your nose up when there's shit in the area.
Keep your nose
you gotta keep
up.
That nose up.
They had taken off from Amsterdam. How awful is that? You're there for like a week of prostitutes and having a great time and getting your ass eaten, and then you got to fly back to your fat wife and smell liquid shit the entire flight.
Liquid shit. They actually flew, and there was a problem with the bathroom, and they landed in Ireland.
Yes.
Overnight to fix the plane. And then right when they took off, the bathrooms backed up again, and they decided, the Atlantic, how wide is it really?
Here's what happened. They made I'm guaranteeing, and this is what any airline would do, even my favorite airline, Continental. They probably made a quick cost assessment. Like, all right, do we send another 767 and fly this one back empty because we can't fix it here? We don't have the facilities. Or do we just deal with it and give them all vouchers and apologize? And they probably said, fuck it. I'd rather give everyone on this plane a free flight than waste a plane on a cross-country flight and then have this one go back empty.
Two planes at a
Two 767s burning fuel with no passengers. That's me. That's Jim the executive.
Wow.
Jim the
I want to see you on that monitor next time I get on a Continental flight. Hi, I'm Jim Norton.
Instead of National City Bank in National City, we want to make banking simpler and
instead of what's his name, Larry Kellner, who's not the most charismatic guy on film. I gotta say, Larry Kellner may be a good executive, but he kind of twitches like Rodney a little bit. Like if you watch on Continental, when you take off, his hands jump, like they bounce like Continental Airlines, and his mouth doesn't quite move properly for a man on camera. He's nervous,
and he looks like Clint Howard.
Yes. I think he's just nervous. I'm sure he's a lovely man, but I've noticed that since he's been the CEO, they pan a lot more to other crew members.
Yeah.
Like doing anything. We here at Continental, as soon as he says we here, they pan to anybody but him.
Right.
We here at Continental, it's baggage handlers and people getting fired. It doesn't matter.
Hey, Chris S. from Pennsylvania. When I was on your show, all I got was my feelings hurt.
Chris S., you can say shit here.
And the rain came in at 5.
Not on the regular radio.
Oh, we're going on?
We might be on there.
In the rain from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
I haven't. I can't.
A couple times. I mean.
And I will be honest, I like this guy's voice.
I read the movies. It's a
This
wonderful.
has got Chicago written all over it.
Sounds like Chris Farley and Jim Belushi doing a radio show.
I do like the
Lawrence of Arabia,
Chicago.
7, Schindler's List 8, Vertigo 9, and The Wizard of Oz comes in at number 10.
Well, your list was good, but I don't know.
No, it's not the best ever. Here.
Oh.
I got number 10, Gone with the Wind.
Right.
Number 9.
Let them do our show for us today.
Yeah.
Now,
This is interesting.
These weren't even in the top 10. High Noon at number 8. It's a Wonderful Life.
Kevin from Connecticut. The Mike Ditka show.
Yeah, it is. Like
it's not even
Chris Farley.
Mike Ditka.
They're so controversial because
I hope people enjoyed our Continental break.
Who would win in a fight between Ditka and a rhinoceros? You got to give it to Ditka.
Ditka!
That bit was great.
Number 3, Casablanca. Number 2, Raging Bull. Number 1, The Godfather. Citizen Kane's not in my top 10. I mean,
What?
Wow.
it also
Fair
depends
enough.
what
Did you like Citizen Kane?
I've never seen the whole thing.
Oh,
That's
should
what
be
I'm
clean.
saying. Godfather is.
What? We gotta be clean now, in case it's popular.
Raging Bull was great. I'm glad they finally gave that some marketability.
Officials in Columbia, South Carolina, believe a couple may have been having sex when they fell naked to their death.
Hey.
The cab driver found it.
I heard this story.
What else would they be doing?
Police say it looked like they dropped 50 feet. It looks like the bodies dropped 50 feet from the downtown building roof.
I think John Manelli's whacking off somewhere right now. All this current news. Oh, sorry.
Discovered not far away in a parking garage. There were no signs of drugs or alcohol in the
North
case.
Show.
It's kind of amazing. They got throes of passion.
They passionately fell to their death. I know people that fallen off beds and got hurt like that while they're having sex. Did that ever happen to your friend?
No, talk about stupid.
Yeah, well, you got to have...
Talk about dumb.
We got Opie and Anthony.
What I like to do.
Talk about stupid. Let's go to O&A.
It would be a perfect segue.
It really would.
It would have made us laugh.
It's like a stuntman. When he falls into a big bath.
I think we're on.
The whole bedroom's a playground.
That's right.
I do like this guy's voice.
When you get to the front door, you have to jump in.
They dropped us?
We're not being dirty.
Because Opie said jerked off.
No, don't blame it on me.
You did.
But then I apologize.
I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you for getting us dropped and blaming you for getting Manelli fired.
That's right.
Yeah. We're going to get him on. Top of the hour.
I would say...
Why not?
In a fight between Ditka...
I think he's getting us on at the top of the hour.
To see the White Sox take on the Chicago Cubs on Friday, June 22nd. Brought to you by Murray's Discount Auto Stores. Top
I like listening to this guy.
Guaranteed low prices by Windy City Limousine. See the 67 person.
Drop him? Why? Why do we have to drop him?
That's what Eric said.
Why?
I mean, I hope the meal on the flight wasn't stew.
Eric, why do we have to drop
That's what I got to say. I'm going to keep going back to this Continental bit because I'm not finished. I got more to say about liquid shit on a cross-Atlantic flight. There's something about liquid duty on a long flight in the rug. It wasn't like they have linoleum floors where you could just put a fucking tissue on your foot and do the old scoochy scooch. These are rugs with liquid shit.
The old scoochy scooch.
That's how it is. We've all had a grandparent with cancer. You know, they get nervous in the kitchen while looking for a roll or a banana or something that won't upset their stomach.
You got to give the old scoochy scooch with the paper towel on your shoe.
And they have that look, the horror look, like I couldn't help it.
Oh, it's okay. Go to bed.
Yeah, go to bed, and then you leave it on their leg because they're old, and then you throw the towel down and you go scooch, 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 scooch.
That must have just been...
Dude, 7 hours of liquid shit. You know how bad a bathroom smells on a plane?
Yeah.
I mean, I can barely eat my egg salad sandwich when I'm in there. Nothing? Nothing? That would get a big laugh from the whole crew?
I don't like cake.
Pat Duffy is just happy to be in here without puke in his mouth. All right. I'm hungry. I wouldn't mind eating something off air, not on air.
Pat Duffy and his early Honest Abe beard.
Oh, that beard is awful.
Isn't it?
Yes.
What made you grow like a beard like that? Like what's going on with that thing?
My dad, Duff, as you know, he shaved his beard off, so I had to grow one. If that doesn't make any sense, I know.
No,
but there has to be.
But why that style? That's like a old either Amish was brought up yesterday or old Honest Abe.
That style's coming back, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, this is how it grows in. My brother says it's a Joe Dirt beard. Grows in all white trash like this.
He purposely went with that look. Are we going on?
Yeah, in 2.5 minutes. Eric's gotten 8 different times he's given us.
Oh, I know.
Fault.
Well, that's because somebody always says something.
Don't get defensive, Eric.
Let's go to Rob on Long Island. Rob, you're on the Opie and Anthony show. How are you today?
I'm fine. I hope you're going to feel better with the stupid Manelli bringing you down. You guys have to understand, and a lot of fans forget the good times that they hear on the radio. Your first day back with this stupid story about Anthony Shower. How fantastic. Everybody
showering with dear old dad.
Priest, Jimmy, it was amazing.
What about this?
Amazing. I went to the virus show, Jones Beach, Friday night. I swear to God, I had the time of my life. I just want to say, Jimmy, I've never, ever heard a comedian in my life master an audience the way you did. You are phenomenal.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go. And the next show is at Mohegan Sun a week from Saturday.
Yes.
Take us through Ticketmaster.
Yeah. You'll work forever, Jimmy. You'll work to your 95 if you keep going.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I hope so. It's one thing about stand-up that I love is you can always make a living.
I'm just hoping that I get to the end of the year before someone finds out I'm a fraud.
Dude, I'm hoping I make it till 39 on the radio.
A 25-year fraud. It's coming to an end.
No, it's not.
They're on to me.
No, it's not. I'd like a 3-bedroom before it comes to an end. I don't want to come to an end. I want to keep going.
Are we on yet?
Thank you.
Hi.
This is Doug. Where'd you buy your used car?
Stop it. Working.
Oh, whoa. Dope, we are. We're all answering the commercial.
This is Doug. Hi, Doug. Stop it.
So you're on a flight, and all of a sudden you just smell the bathroom back up. What happens? Do the oxygen masks come down so you don't have to breathe it in? What do you do? Do they serve the food in those little handy wipes you can dab under your nose like you're a coroner?
Well, apparently the stewardesses, the flight attendants, were wearing those masks and things over their hair and everything. They were wearing all kinds of protective gear when they went up and down the aisle, and they served food and drink, but they told the people, don't eat or drink too much.
Cup tickets in the 9 o'clock hour.
Ooh.
Text messages at 67011.
They should have thrown themselves on the rug and sacrificed themselves. Soaked it up with their clothes.
Join us.
Yes.
It is 9:02 on WSCR 670, the Mike North Morning Show.
Fred Huebner Sports Update.
From the OwnerCondo.com update studio, scoreboard update brought to you by...
now we don't have to do sports updates.
Subscribe at suntimes.com. Rangers over the Cubs last night, 7-3. Soriano and Hill with home runs for the Cubs.
Like Soriano.
Sammy hit number 600.
We're going to be all low on the phone.
Sammy joining Aaron.
I bet we are. You're going to be like, we can't hear you.
600 club. Jason Marquis took the loss earlier in the day. Michael Barrett traded to the San Diego Padres along with $1.5 million in exchange for switch hitting catcher Rob Bowen and minor league outfielder Kyler Burke. And now when he met the media down in San Diego, Barrett was asked if he saw this one coming.
I don't know if it was inevitable. I don't know if that was the case, but like I said, we'd started to play better baseball over there.
Joey from Howard Beach.
Wasn't really sure what was going on.
Effing with you guys and just keep telling you you'll be on in 2 minutes.
That would be funny.
We got to use that one.
When they told me I was traded, I know how this business works. And anything can happen.
Yes, it can. So Barrett, now a member of the San Diego Padres. Ted Lilly goes at 1:05 this afternoon. Final game of the 3-game set in Texas. Marlins beat the White Sox yesterday 5-4. The Sox have now dropped 19 of 24 games. John Garland, a hard luck loser. Paul Konerko had a home run said afterwards, it's kind of hard to forget about everything that's happening at the ballpark when you actually leave the park and go home.
You get frustrated by every little thing that's going wrong right now. You'll kill yourself. I mean, that's how bad it's going. So, I mean, you kind of have to disconnect at some point when you leave.
What is he, a member of the Opie and Anthony show?
Put a good, honest day's work in, and, I'm going to go not take it out on my family. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, that's just not the way it goes anymore. You can't do that. Maybe if you're
bless
single.
This guy. 5 breaks in 20 minutes.
I don't know, man.
New Hampshire. Good.
It's not fun.
I love Paulie. It's not the way it goes anymore. Now, 5 years ago, you could take it out on the family, but now, no. You don't think there's some domestic problems?
Nice.
With some of the families of the
domestic
White
violence reference.
Please. Yeah. I come home from a softball game that we should have won. I'm aggravated. Jerry Owens sent down. Looks like Darren Erstad will be activated. Well, you know what happened to Jerry Owens, don't you? You know why he got sent down? Why? He laid down a successful bunt, moved the runners yesterday, and right after that, they couldn't wait to send him out. Yeah. They go, this will not be accepted here. Yeah, now that you can. Did you remember that? Yeah. Now that you can bunt and try and hit for some power. Yeah, you're the first guy that's really laid down a successful bunt in a month. We're sending you to Charlotte. Pac-Man Jones faces 2 felony coercion charges from February Las Vegas shootings.
It's a sports show. They have to do sports.
A strip joint and have it rain 81,000. Bad things are usually. You know what? I had it rain one time.
I'm watching Maury. I want to see if this the 9th person that tested for this girl to see if he's the father. 9.
No,
the first 8 were no.
Years ago, was it? No, I'm kidding. Scoreboard
She's
update.
A good girl.
3 quarters, a dime, and 2 pennies. Apple Chevrolet in Tinley Park. Well, really, 4 pennies. That would make it 89. Rain and money.
Yep.
That's what I like to do. Math is tough, though. It's horrible. If you didn't get it from Apple Chevrolet, you paid too much for it. You are listening to the exclusive radio home for the Chicago White Sox. 670 The Score. Next broadcast Friday, 2:30. Sox and the Cubs. I'm Fred Huebner on 670 The Score and 670thescore.com.
Tell him, Fred.
Oh, this is so appropriate. Listen to this music.
Chariots of Fire.
Along a beach in their underwear, like they did in Chariots of Fire. We're pleased to have the Mike North Morning Show. Opie and Anthony, what's up, gentlemen?
Hello, Mike North. How are you?
How are you guys doing?
Very good, very good. I've been listening to your show, watching you on Pal Talk.
Yeah, Pal Talk, they came and gave us a demonstration. I said this will never fly, but apparently you guys, now I didn't say you were, here's what I thought we were the first, but you guys have had it for how long?
We don't care. Like maybe a week.
Honestly, in the end, we don't care. We've had it for a while. We were just trying to goof off today. And Mike, we don't mind that you called us tools. We don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't want you guys, because I heard you guys. Listen, I walked into the studio, into the control room, and they said it sounds like a guy that doesn't have fun. Well, ants, come on. You got to know me. I love to have a good time.
I've been listening to you, and I kind of liked how you beat around the bush on the domestic violence little joke there. That was fun. That's right up our alley.
Listen, you guys being out of New York, basically, that there hasn't been a lot of domestic violence with the Yankees or the Mets because, quite frankly, they're doing well right now. But, during the horse there had to be
and they're all gay.
I mean, let's be honest about it, But this Pal Talk thing is new to me. I don't get it.
Well, we were trying to welcome you to Pal Talk in our special way by doing what's called a room raid. So we had all our people go into your room and show you some horrific things today.
Well, you guys are close.
Or yesterday, actually.
From Stern, right?
Yeah, absolutely, because he invented it all.
See, we all know he invented.
Let me tell you something. You two guys mess with my Pal Talk anymore, you will be abducted, taken to St. Patrick's Cathedral, and mounted. Do you understand me?
Oh, hey, been there. You better watch what you say about the church, my friend. we know.
We have to agree on this. Is Alfonso Soriano's playing in Chicago?
Yes, he is.
Does he not look like the guy that Kevin Dillon brained with his rifle in Platoon?
You know what? I haven't seen Platoon for a long time, but I'm going to go along with you on that.
You ever see a head come apart like that? Look, he has big teeth like the guy who got his head caved in with the rifle butt. That's all I want to say about sports.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's talk about what you guys do. Let's talk about, besides getting in trouble. Getting in trouble.
Well, occasionally that happens. That kind of is the stuff that makes the news there, Mike, But basically, we're just trying to entertain,
Yeah,
we got people on Pal Talk.
For you guys? How hard is it for you guys? Are you guys starting to do what a lot of people are starting to do? You try to keep stiff upper lip, but do you find yourself catching yourselves a little bit?
A little bit. Still keeping it out on the edge there. But, who wants to talk about that? I want to inform you about a little bit more about Pal Talk. I see you got
about Pal Talk because I'm a big fan.
I see you got a lot of administrators in here. Those are the red names. Those are the people that kick people out of the room.
Yeah, I guess there's people, as I'm looking at this thing, guys, I'm looking at people getting kicked out. It says, Bill Pal support. We want everyone to enjoy and have fun here. This is a G-rated room.
Yeah.
What happens on that deal, guys?
Yeah, here's the first thing you got to do. Get those red administrators out and get your room an R rating at least. That way you can watch nude women during your show.
I'm in.
And it works. The only thing is you need one person that's there to get rid of the guys that tend to come in. And for some reason, they're usually Arab gentlemen. They like coming in and maybe not centering the camera on their face, if you know what I mean. And... yeah, and then they harass whatever girls are in there and try to show them what they're packing.
Really?
Yeah.
So listen, you're saying, Mike, if you want to see an Arab man's penis, this is what you got to do. Is this what you're telling me?
Exactly, an Arab man's penis. You will love it on Pal Talk. No matter what Gary and the rest of the Pal Talk admins tell you, it's all about guys hooking up with girls and spanking.
That's nice. That's nice.
Welcome.
Really? What do you guys prefer, spanking it yourself and letting the girl watch or having her do it?
I don't know. Whatever makes her cry fastest.
I don't know if that was Oprah or Anthony, but they were thinking about what the response was going to be.
That was little Jimmy Norton.
Blown out of proportion. There's no question about it.
Yes. That's nothing. All right, look, we got a show to do, Mike, and I'm sure you do too, but I'm glad we were able to get the air cleared here.
Good to talk to you, and for you coming in the last time, I heard that. You got a hat, you got a T-shirt, and a handgun coming up, all right?
Nice.
That was you, though, I think. I did a radio show. You sound really familiar, and I'm like, I think that he gave something out. You do that, right?
Oh, yeah, I gave out some Choco Sticks.
He doesn't give out anything.
All right,
is that not you later?
Take it easy there.
I see you.
Mike.
I swear to God, I thought that was him. I'm an idiot.
You're confused, Jimmy.
I'm embarrassing the show.
You know, it's funny. He goes...
abducted and mounted at St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Jimmy said he recognized the background.
It could be one of the
Oh, the
stations of the
aftertalk?
cross.
Yeah, the aftertalk.
Why don't
they
you?
could take care of two of the stations of
You
the cross.
can either lay down flat on your face and do what I tell you, or we can have Rocky lay you down on your face, and then I will mount you.
I don't know
and
where
I'll
he's
be
going
fine.
with this.
How's that? You know, hey, they're not bad guys. They don't seem like
No,
they.
I don't think that's...
So you never get to hear this
they
part.
weren't mad at you. They were just yanking
they
your
don't care.
chain.
Let me
No, they
tell you
don't care.
something. Let me tell you something.
It's just radio.
They may be guys that have been in more trouble than me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? And there are very few of you. It's a very small fraternity.
There's not many left.
No,
there's not many left. We're holding up.
You, Stern, O&A, Mancow.
Ugh.
How's he doing?
Go there. Yeah, thank you.
He's gone.
If I'm in this
Yeah.
company, I want to shoot myself. If I'm in the company of those people.
Studio here in Chicago because he's syndicated in smaller markets.
I did a show in my room
In
for
your
years and
basement?
years. Yeah,
Well,
nobody
wait,
ever heard
in
it.
front of your mirror?
Okay, he's goofing on Mancow. A new friend.
At this point. You know what I
I don't
mean?
think it was his plan either. Hello?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't curse.
Just hung up on
She
us.
just goes, hello? Oh,
She probably
shit,
couldn't
they're
hear
still
us.
there.
She didn't talk or say anything.
We were listening to the.
We were listening in.
This is the stuff you don't get to hear after you hang up the phone.
Yeah.
People talking about you. All right, we'll take a break and we'll continue.
But I'm wondering, did anybody get up with their socks on? Because a lot of times when I'm flying, I take my shoes off.
Enough about the shitty plane.
No, I
It was a 767. They have a big first class.
Jimmy, I got the news story, so yes,
Oh,
we will
good.
continue with this.
I don't want to be accused of goofing off by listeners. I want to get the story.
Is it the news story with the blatant homosexual saying his experience?
Yes.
No.
I think
Like we landed, and I smelled that, so I checked the front of my underpants. Huh? I still got it, even at 10:13 when I want pretzels.
Look, track one says passengers has to sit next to duty on long flight.
Duty.
We got some good audio on the way. It's Opie and Anthony.
The virus is spreading.
Why are we coming back with this song? They know what's going on over here?
That's funny.
Fire alarm went off, and
You were in the pisser.
just so people understand, we're not at our XM studio. They're rebuilding that. Are we taking pictures every day like we said? And are we posting the pictures?
Right now.
What? What?
We have them. We're going to post them right now.
All right, yeah, but we're taking a picture as they build us a brand new studio over there. So we're over at CBS still, whatever.
Yep.
At the K-Rock studios. And fire alarm goes off, and I'm hearing reports that Tom pretty much ran out of the building with his entire staff except us. If that doesn't say
Oh, really?
if that doesn't say a lot.
Did he run like George Costanza? Just knocking people over? Old ladies?
Somebody ran in and said, hey, you know, the whole radio station is emptying out, but they failed to come in here and tell us maybe we should leave the building. So I'm assuming we're all right. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd assume.
All right. Hey, crazy story. This has to be the story of the day. I gotta tell you. This just coming in. Toilets overflow on transatlantic flight.
What?
Wow.
What happened?
Huh?
What airline?
Transatlantic. I don't know. Maybe Continental?
Oh, as long as it wasn't transgendered. Wordplay jokes. Always good.
Let's hear it.
All right. This just coming in. I'm scared. I have one button here. If it turns on, our careers are done. I'm serious.
Why is the tape not over it?
If we push this, then we could talk over the music they're playing right now.
Wow, that
Why
would
is the tape not on
suck.
it?
What?
That would suck.
Can I just move this thing to over here? And
Oh,
then I
don't
can't push
move
it?
anything.
Why not?
I think that's
You're screaming.
You need
What? What happened?
I think that'll just put the station feed on the show instead of putting.
Oh. That's what they're playing on the... Yeah.
Are we on regular radio right now?
No, this board is not.
K-Rock.
Are you sure we're not on regular radio right now? What? Oh, nice. I love this song. Anthony used to sing this song.
I love it. I forgot the words though. 92.3 K-Rock.
That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
I sure hope we weren't going out over that.
Sorry, John. Your beloved talk station is now doing this.
Here it is. Here it is.
Sorry, John. Okay, tell you.
I am essential to the music effort. No, you're not.
Sorry, John. All right, here's the...
Stop whining.
Here's the story of the day.
Hello?
What?
Hi, I'm on the radio.
Oh.
Who are you talking to, Jimmy? Who's Jimmy talking to?
That's your girl.
Yeah, I'm on the radio.
Why would your girl call when she knows it's...
She forgot.
Forgot? No way she forgot.
She did, because she even knows that we're just calling in on this
She's
side.
goofy.
What?
She's sort of goofy.
Now you're on speakerphone. What are you saying?
I was thinking, I just woke up, so I sound crazy. I was thinking, I forgot. I can't talk.
Forgot we're not suspended anymore?
Yeah, you forgot that I'm not home by 9:30 anymore. We're doing an XM show, and we're...
Yeah.
You're being heard.
Yeah.
You're being heard in both countries, just so you don't say anything silly.
Doesn't say much for this effort of the show that even one of the guys' girlfriends,
she doesn't even know we're on.
She forgot that we're doing XM.
Well, she just woke
It's hard to hear you on my new BlackBerry.
Yeah, mine too. I'm having problems with mine.
Hey, girlfriend!
Oops, call you.
Yeah.
Jimmy is driving us nuts about his new BlackBerry, and I'm sure you heard the same shit last night over and over
The
again.
buttons are too small.
The buttons, I can't see the numbers.
No.
Is it did you get the double key, like the 2 letters to a key?
No, I got the new fancy one, but the letters have a blue light behind them, and the light reflects off it. I can't see.
I can't see, goddammit.
Oh, don't worry, girlfriend. He'll drive you nuts with that for the next 4 hours after he leaves here, like he did us today. I don't know the buttons. I can't see them.
Can you see this?
Over and over.
Baby, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I heard about that yesterday. I forgot already.
Oh yeah, well I'll bring you up to speed later. There's a little scratch on the screen. There's so much more to the story.
Oh no, you scratched the screen already. Was it your car keys?
No, I didn't scratch it. It was actually
candlelight dinner.
Yeah.
Get out.
All right, I'll talk to you later because I'm going to start saying very lovey things.
Aw.
Wait, say something. Say something
lovey and nice.
All right, I miss you.
I miss you too.
Aw, that's sweet. What else?
It's like the worst environment for anything loving.
What else?
No, the guys will understand it.
Tell them about the anal thing.
I love I love the time we spend together. What? All right, I will let you. What do you think is the most fun thing about the relationship?
Aw.
Are you fucking kidding?
No, I want to know, like, the things I love about you. I love your smile. I love how funny you are. I love how I give you a little hug in the morning before I go. I do. I give her a hug.
That's sweet.
She didn't stay with me last night because she's apartment hunting.
I love her tight body.
I like her tight body a lot.
Oh, boy, do I love her tight body.
But what
and that nice ass of hers.
But what would you say you love the most?
I like how you wink at.
That's my bitch. Oh, but he's brought it to the girlfriend.
Absolutely. I've wrecked my personal life for it.
Right.
But that's my bit. I don't have many.
Oh, is that funny?
Yeah,
I love you. What do you do? What does she do? What you do? The wink thing? What was she saying before you rudely hung up on her?
Uh-oh.
What do you do?
You don't want to know the noise we make sometimes when we kiss?
Yes, I do.
Oh, no, you don't.
Now it's the only thing I want to know.
Yeah, this is Fun Fact Thursday.
Come on. Fun Fact Thursday.
We have a fun fact about Jimmy North.
This would be a fun fact.
Yeah.
What do you do? What noise do you make when you kiss?
She started it. It's a goof.
Of course it is.
Occasionally.
Yeah. I like when you have to preface things.
But she'll go, meep, meep, and I'll go, meep, meep, and we kiss.
Holy shit. Yuck.
Oh,
but I'm not.
Oh.
It's not like...
Oh, my God. No one can even look at you.
But why?
Is it exactly like that?
Oh, yeah. Beep, beep. No, not meep, beep. What are we, faggots? No.
I don't know what it was.
What's wrong with you?
Okay, do it again. Let me see if I...
Yeah. Meep, meep. Yeah. And we both do it then we have to kiss.
Oh, my God.
What?
You've told some horrific stories on the show, but I can't look at you for the first time.
We're nice people.
Yeah. Yuck.
Stop it!
Meep, meep. Yeah. You do that with your girl, and she do it with you, and you both go, aw, and you kiss.
Oh, wow.
By the way,
that's not during sex. That's not. Like, it's not like we're in the middle of banging and all of a sudden I'm like, meet, you know, no.
Jimmy, you started a bit. You hung up on her before she could answer your question. So, of course, the listeners will answer the question for your girlfriend. She loves your wallet the most. That's from Philly Time in Philly. Scott in Chicago writes.
He wrote,
Doesn't it just feel loving?
No.
It does.
Feels silly to even do it.
Do it with your girl. She'll do it to you.
No.
You both kiss.
Come on. Okay, here we go. Scott from Chicago. I did the wall one, right?
Oh! I updated again. Where'd it go?
We give each other the love bug before I leave in the morning.
All right. What's that, Robert Reed?
It's the love bug.
What is it?
Okay, since we're confessing. See, you take, you know the Hawaiian thing for love? This little thing, it's like the rock and roll horn.
Like the thing Dio does, yeah.
Yeah, the Dio thing. You do that. But the love bug is you take that and she does the same thing, and then you hook the two fingers that are curled onto your palm together and then wrap the other fingers around. And it's almost like a loving little handshake in the morning as you kiss goodbye. I go, love bug, because it looks like the two love bugs are fucking.
Don't try to make it cool. It's like they're ass fucking, right, boys? No.
Hey, more people.
Love bug.
More people finishing Jimmy's girlfriend's line about what she likes about Jimmy. I love how you let me shit on your chest.
She doesn't.
The love bug is queer. Somebody wrote the love bug is queer. It is not.
It's a little bit.
No. Fess.
No, I can't.
Come on, there's something.
Oh, I don't
there's
want to.
Pet names or something. Come on.
No, because I like our pet.
No, we don't have a secret society handshake, Than. It's not some kind of secret society.
Yeah, what is that fucking love bug thing? That represents Germany's domination of Warsaw?
That's only when we can touch. I have another way to salute her when I leave it. We're too far away to touch.
Yes. All right, let's just click pinkies. That's Eagle's Nest. Meet at the Eagle's Nest. Yeah, give us a little fun fact.
Yeah, come on. Fun fact from Opie's Love Life.
I don't want to.
Fun fact from Opie's Love Life.
No!
You got meep, meep, and love bug. Now, what do you got? Come on. You got something. Every couple does.
Can I keep something to myself?
No.
Why?
Come on. You got something. I know you do. What is it? What do you do? Come on. What do you do? You're thinking of it right now. Don't make me read your mind.
I gotta read my mind.
Okay. Ew. You suck a homeless guy's cock?
Together?
No, just you.
Oh. What is something we do together, you idiot?
Let me think. What could you possibly...
Don't give me my pet name.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
What's your pet name? That'd be good. Do you know it, then?
Yep.
You know, you use it.
Got your show prep for you.
Insert pet name. What? Oh, Jimmy, don't kiss me.
You have to do it, though, when you hear it.
He's all trained for it now.
Like, we'll just do that to each other.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do? Oh, come on. Little something. Little insight.
She likes when I do that, too, and I breathe into her ear like a dog, like joking.
I do that. Hold it. I do this. I go. And then you got to do this. You go. You got to do like the big breath, how they do that.
No, I don't turn it into a Discovery offshoot channel.
I do that.
I do it briefly.
You're ripping me off.
No, here's what I'll do that because she had a dog that she loved many years ago, and I'll just do that to goof with her.
I'm not a creep.
And what she'll do, my girlfriend will blow on the side of my face because that's how she would get her dog to look at her because she like would fucking overlove and pester this poor animal until it shot itself. And she'll go, And like I look and I go no, and she go and I look and she kisses me like she would do with the dog.
Oh,
all right.
Do you ruin each other's yawns?
Yeah, I was going to tell.
I do that.
Yes, we put our cocks in each other's mouths. Sorry, honey.
Yeah, if my girlfriend's yawning or if I'm yawning, if she's yawning, I'll just take my finger and go bonk, and it ruins a nice yawn.
Your finger?
Like right in her mouth. You touch
I do that
the
when
tongue.
she's crying. I've done that at wakes.
Okay, what do you do? All
right,
what's your thing?
I like to show her extreme camel toe.
That isn't quite a lovey-dovey.
But it makes everyone laugh and laugh.
Oh, you go for the laugh.
Well, yeah, but I have like special sweats and stuff that really makes it look good.
Oh, so you give yourself a front wedgie.
Yeah.
And what do you put your nuts on either side?
Yeah, I could do it with my jeans.
Oh,
probably.
shit.
Go ahead, do it. Let's see. I dare you.
Okay, come on, hold on. The Paltalk camera has to turn around for this one. All right. If you turn around right there and face that camera, you got a perfect... don't get too close to the console.
Do some extreme camel toe.
It's not going to look as good with jeans.
It's not going to look good at all. Your guy's nuts.
And I like to pull my jeans up to my nipples to look like an old man.
All right. What do you like an old impersonator? You turn backwards?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What is that?
What is that?
Is that the old man thing?
No, it's just...
That's something else you do?
I'm just warming up.
Okay.
He's pushing his asshole out like he's ready to scoot on the carpet.
All right, here he goes. Wow, that wedgie's coming all the way in the back. It's all the way up his ass crack.
I told you those were ass cheeks.
And now he's got a front... I don't know, he hasn't turned around yet for the Paltalk camera or... Let me see.
Ew.
Oh, God damn.
Ew.
Oh, God. Get closer to the camera.
That's the grossest
close.
That's the grossest set of balls or the best cunt I've ever seen.
Oh, God, you got a complete fucking camel toe. Yeah, go ahead. Get that.
Way to go,
Get
Eric.
that close.
Jesus.
Oh, shit. There we go. I don't know how close you can get it. That's about it, I guess. Yeah, get it a little. Hold on. There it is. It's camel toe. It's all the way wedged up your fucking sack.
Fucking opes all ball. Jesus.
Oh, God, that is awful.
I got the pussy that Jimmy likes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's perfect.
Big and juicy.
It's lopsided.
All right, everyone make theirs.
Horrible.
Mine's good.
No.
Mine's good.
That looked like it hurt.
All right, someone else try one.
E-Rock, give yourself a fucking... Oh, God. Jimmy's cock's all the way on the right. It's just a big lump hanging out.
Dude, you got to hide the... Well, or you got to
Jimmy can't hide his junk. That's hysterical. Look, face the camera.
Can you see the helmet?
That's your dick. The fuck's wrong with you, man?
Jimmy's cock is all the way to the right. Anyone else want to do camel toe?
Eric?
E-Rock?
Pussy lips.
Got to do it for the Paltalk camera.
Show us your pussy lips.
Got to do it for the Paltalk camera. Do it for the Paltalk camera, you fuck.
Dude.
Hey, by the way...
Looks like my aunt. My aunt has a vagina like Eric.
By the way, words hurt.
Yeah?
Josh from Philly. Opie, what do you mean, look like an old man?
Oh, that hurts. Ew, E-Rock. Oh, God damn. Holy shit. E-Rock's got some large testes. They're just all pulled up, bunched up. Ugh.
All right, who else?
Sam.
Jesus, Sam.
Camel toe it.
Sam.
All right, Sam is going to attempt the camel toe.
Get the Paltalk camera.
I got dark jeans.
Dan's going to try, but he's got dark jeans on.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just pull that.
Is that your fucking dick? God almighty. Than's fucking packing 11. I don't ever fuck this game. Motherfucker. He couldn't wait to do it. That fucking stupid cockhead. Than is all cock.
You understand?
That's annoying.
This game is all about just kind of showing the boys that you're packing.
How big your
without
cock
getting
is.
naked. All right. Let's...
Enough about the cogs.
Story of the day?
Man. Thank God you're over 6 feet. I'd shoot
Oh,
myself.
Sam? All right, Sam wants to do it.
Of course he does.
Sam, get in front of the Paltalk camera.
I don't want to do it.
Well,
go ahead,
now you
show
have
us.
to.
Bunch of
In front
men.
of the Paltalk. And he's pulling up. And
That's awful.
Oh, my God.
I don't think it's a penis. Anorexic.
What was that?
What? He's got a snatch. He's got a snatch. That's good. Well, play along at home.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right.
Feel free.
Toilets overflow on transatlantic flight.
Oh, brother, on a long overseas plane flight, you might expect a little turbulence, maybe a mediocre meal.
But not shit.
How about sewage in the aisle?
How about it? It happened inside a continental...
What's up with that guy?
How about it? I love that shit.
How about it?
How about it? It happened inside a Continental Airlines Boeing jet when the bathroom started acting up, spilling waste into the passenger cabin. It is a story new for you at 5:30. King 5's Ray Lane joining us live in Seattle with more, much more. Ray?
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Today we caught up with a young man from University Place near Tacoma who was on board that plane flight, and he says it was no place to be at 34,000
I bet
feet.
he liked the smell.
Even though there were earlier indications during the flight that there were some problems with the lavatories, that the flight eventually continued all the way to the east coast of the U.S. He says everyone who was on board that flight was absolutely miserable.
Oh, could you just imagine?
Absolutely miserable, huh?
Hey, this is coming in like crazy, but I'll give it to Travis because he was the first one from Kansas. Yes, I do believe we have to do it.
What?
Camel Toe Thursday.
Oh.
It'll make the promo a little more interesting.
Camel Toe Thursday.
So now we got...
A new edition. What is Thursday's getting full? How come some of the days aren't filling up?
It's just
Thursday's really getting full.
Tuesday.
You can't.
Oh.
You have to do the thing when we do the thing.
It happened.
It happened on Thursday. It's
happened.
part of the rules. It's in the rule book.
It happened
It happened.
today.
How about break the rules Thursday?
And then we put Camel Toe Tuesday?
Break the rules Thursday and then Camel Toe Tuesday.
He might have just overridden the rule by making it break the rules Thursday.
That's crazy.
That's
We
the beauty
can't
of us.
do it.
We're nutty.
Break the rules Thursday. You pulled a Captain Kirk
This
there.
should be called the Incorrigible and Anthony Show. We're nutty.
If it's break the rule Thursday, he can indeed dub it Camel Toe Tuesday.
It's unconventional. We
Imagine
can't.
the bumper stickers, little camel toes all over town.
Oh.
So far, Thursday is Perv News Thursday.
Right.
Fun Fact Thursday.
We knew that.
Phone Call Thursday.
Still don't
How
get
did
it.
that one get past us?
Still
We must have
don't
been hung
understand
over that
one.
day.
Here's a new one. Let's try Show Prep Friday.
I have to add Camel Toe Thursday because we might have to drop Phone Call Thursday.
We could phone call Tuesday. We'll just push it to Tuesday until we come up with
someone's
something
got to
better.
suggest it for Tuesday.
Okay.
I got to overrule. It has to be on the day we do the thing.
It's not break the rules Tuesday though, or Thursday.
You could suggest it. What?
Not if it's not going to change.
But break the rules Thursday will ruin this bit, and
Yeah,
we
it
need
will.
this bit. Trust me.
All right.
We need this bit,
All right.
bit to continue. All right, Camel Toe Thursday has been added to the Thursday list.
All right.
What's tomorrow? Mispronunciation Friday.
Yeah. Point and Laugh Friday, which is my favorite, which E-Rock just gets pointed at all day long.
Well, last Friday we got pointed at. And
Yes, we did.
at. And what else?
Isn't it also Air Guitar Friday?
Air Guitar Friday.
Air Guitar Friday. Air Guitar.
Someone is suggesting, how about Good Show Monday? All right. Lynn.
Good Show
Jesus.
Monday.
We got beat up enough today. Help us out a little bit, will you? Even if you kind of like the show, make believe you really like the show
Yeah.
today. We need that.
Fake it.
Our egos are a little damaged.
A little bruised.
All right, more on the toilets overflow.
Is it now the guy being interviewed?
Yeah, this is
Who the fuck is doing their camel toe?
Oh, shit.
Oh, that was a chick.
That was
Nice.
cleavage.
No, go up again. I didn't know. I looked at the screen. I really thought it was a guy. I'm like, well, that was fucked up. And then you sat back down.
Let's see.
Watch. That.
Oh, wow.
But that's what mine looked like.
Oh my! Can we see it without the panties pulled through it?
My camel toe looks just like Deliver Us from Eva.
Wow.
We have the same cap. Whoa!
Holy
wow,
shit!
I don't have
Look at that mound.
That's Sleestack toe.
Wow, I don't have that though. Wow.
All right.
All right. More on the toilet.
Yeah, this is the
To
guy.
be blatantly honest, I was more nervous than I'd ever been on flight.
Oh my God! I can't.
Sounds like Danny.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
This guy sounds a little effeminate, I would say.
Completely, to be completely honest with you.
Oh, but just by reflex, I buried my face into the carpeting.
Can I go out on a limb?
Yeah.
This guy
I wish you would, with a rope. Sorry, I don't want you hanging yourself.
Me neither. So hard from a limb.
You're my friend.
This guy who's talking loves cock.
It's your professional opinion.
Yeah. All right, let's hear a little more from this gentleman.
I want to start over.
Could be one of those. Actually, this guy who was talking, it meant me.
Oh, this guy that's talking. Yes.
Ixnay on the lawsuit, hey.
To be blatantly honest, I was more nervous than I'd ever been on a flight.
When things started going wrong...
Gotta have the cock. Hear a little more.
When things started going wrong, Colin Brock wondered just how bad the problem would get on board the Continental Airlines 767 he was flying. He soon got his answer.
I've never felt so offended in my life. I felt like I had been
like a pussy had fallen on the floor. It was like a bunch of pussies had been sprinkled out like Reuben sandwiches to torture me.
All I could think is, thank God, because it'll cover up the tuna fish sandwiches they've been serving.
Right. Ugh. I've never been so insulted. How is he insulted? Like, what is insulting? It's not an insult to have sewage sloshing in front of you. It's annoying. It's grotesque.
Dude, know what the best is? Someone did mention this somewhere. I would love to give them credit. Someone that works for the railroads.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they said this happens all the time. Have you been on some of those old Long Island Railroad trains that are filled to the brim?
Yeah.
And then it starts,
sloshing out,
and then it's just rocking down the aisles. Usually coming back from like a show at Madison Square Garden.
Who's the last person to use it when it's in that sloshing state? They didn't shit out like 20 fucking pounds of shit and piss, so they had to sit there while it's probably touching their ass.
It's unbelievable, though, right? Danny knows.
I've seen that happen on the LIRR a bunch of times.
It turns into like a shit river.
The worst is those troughs, though. You ever go to like a street fair or a flea market where they have the big piss trough?
Piss trough.
I'll piss in it, but I won't shit in it.
Dude,
well, you can't shit in it.
What's wrong with you?
The best bathroom story ever for me is spring break back in the day at Fort Lauderdale. The Elbow Room, which is a legendary bar down there.
Sure.
They even have like a webcam in there. You can check out the place. It's just a dive, but it was where the cheap beers were that night, and everyone's drinking their faces off. And you go in the bathroom. There's no lights, pitch dark. You don't know where the toilets are or the urinals, and you're so fucking hammered. And I lost my shoes like days prior.
And my glasses.
No, I really did. I had no shoes for days this particular year in spring break. So now you're standing in piss and just peeing.
Just on the floor?
I guess.
Yeah.
You could be peeing on someone's back. You don't know. Ooh. It was completely pitch dark. You had to feel your way around, so you would feel a wall and then just unzip and go. Only one runner-up line of the day today?
What about do we have the rest of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I felt like I had been physically abused and neglected. I was forced to sit next to human excrement for 7 hours.
How do you think the guy next to you felt?
Wow.
Oh.
God, make up your own jokes at home.
I felt that neglected.
Neglected?
Neglected. I think it was going back further than that flight. Little bit of, Daddy didn't play with you enough?
Neglected. I was forced to sit next to human excrement for 7 hours.
That's after lavatories in the middle of a transatlantic flight filled with passengers started spewing.
It's on a flight with Voss.
Sickening. It's a nauseating smell. Yes. It's very uncomfortable.
Man ass?
Oh, Wendy the Snapple girl's on Dr. Keith.
Sure, Dr. Keith? Who the fuck is Dr. Keith?
I'm sure glad your 2 runs on Celebrity Fit Club did the job. Holy crap, she's as large as a house. Body. They gave her 2 shots on Celebrity Fit Club.
Is that Blossom?
Yeah.
Oh, she needs some water. Christ.
All right, now let's watch TV. Let's watch TV Thursday.
Watch TV Thursday.
All right, now we're making it up, but Snapple lady.
Yeah.
big as a house. She was on Celebrity Fit Club twice. And we had so much fun with her when she was doing the show. Remember, she started eating because her mommy had another kid?
Yes.
That was her excuse for overeating.
And she didn't feel wanted
and loved
anymore.
as much. And that's where she contributes her fatness to.
Yeah.
The fact that mommy decided to have another kid.
These are unexpected Hollywood
stars.
Stars doing what? Talking about weight problems?
No, just being stars.
Sulking, eating, drinking, fucking sulking.
All right, let's get back to the flight.
Yeah.
The duty flight.
It was last Wednesday afternoon when his...
You know what's funny? It's an international flight. It should have been duty-free.
You couldn't wait to get that out. That's
I just thought of it.
Duty-free.
I'm calling bullshit. Who drops a load on the Long Island Railroad? It's all piss. Are you crazy?
Come on.
There's people that can't help themselves and have to shit. I've shit many a times on the Long Island Railroad. Come on, Chris and Huntington, help me out here.
It was last Wednesday afternoon when his flight left Amsterdam, but roughly 2 hours into it, the passengers were told the lavatories were out of commission, and an unplanned landing in Shannon, Ireland was made to fix the problem. A pit stop became an overnight stay. The next day, the same plane headed for its original destination of Newark, New Jersey. But just after takeoff, the sewage overflow began. This time, though, there was no turning around.
I don't know how you can say...
Scott doesn't like hearing that. No turning around.
He should be used to no turning around.
Know how you can say a plane needs to be grounded one day for a problem that's not as major as the problem the next day, and it doesn't qualify for being grounded.
He says there was one half-working restroom on the plane for the more than 200 people on board, and that the flight attendants, even though they were serving meal service in a stinky, unappetizing cabin, told everyone not to eat or drink too much.
Not too much. That's just in case, you know. You get that fucking E. coli.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
That's when you, like, smear, like, a little bit of feces.
Well, shit gets on your food.
Feces particles into your eyes. That's
Yeah.
how you get it.
No.
Yeah.
You eat it.
No.
You, like, take a shit.
Somehow
you
you get
wash your
particles
hands.
on your hand, and then you rub your eye because it gets a little itchy.
I might do it.
Or it goes right in your mouth. Depends on how much
Right.
Just falls right in. Like a Tootsie Roll.
I'm speaking for the common man. You're speaking for the freaks. All right. What?
Like a Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll.
Only the good ones.
Mm.
Well,
nothing I ever laid on my back one time while a Russian, who I said I want solid and no suppository, fired a suppository onto my chest like a fucking, like it was a Kennedy assassination, and then a glop of liquid shit. I know that's gross. Picture fucking a suppository bouncing off your chest and then Stu hitting you. And then picture handing over 300, even though she said her name was Anastasia, but you could see by the picture it's not her. You didn't use a suppository. I did not. She uncorked the stew bottle on New Year's Eve. Oh, God, is that disgusting? You're telling me. Picture someone putting a fucking chili in a sock and jumping on it.
There's your line of the day. Line of the day.
Oh, shit. Yes. Oh, that is awful. You are quite the card.
Passenger says it was the worst.
Personality.
2 runner-ups, 1 winner for line of the day. Just got updated. Jesus. Passenger says it was the worst flight experience ever.
Wow.
Well, there's a few.
I would beg to differ.
There's a few people, if they were still alive, would argue that.
Maybe plummeting in
into some
the TWA plane that broke in half and it crashed.
Why?
Maybe that's worse.
Why go any further than 9/11?
Yeah, how about those people? Maybe that was the worst flight
I think we can all
ever.
agree that's the worst flight ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Worst flight
You're right.
ever.
No, it wasn't.
No?
No way.
Which one?
As horrific as 9/11 was, they didn't. They until the very, very last, except for that one flight, probably to the last moment, thought we might get out of this. That flight 800. I mean, you know, did break up at 13,000 feet, continued ascending to about 17,000 feet with no cockpit. The cockpit blew off, and the wings are like, fuck you, we're okay.
Yeah.
And they kept going. Air Egypt was another horrifying one, which I heard fell backwards from... Oof. Yeah, I heard that the engines got cut, and the plane was plunging. And as it got closer, the air pressure increases, or whatever happens to air pressure, and the plane glided back up a little bit, but had no engine. So it glided back up, and then peaked, and then just fell backwards. And then the wings ripped off. Because the pressure of falling that fast, the wings can't take it. So you're falling backwards, and you hear the wings snap off. Or a flight I had from Pittsburgh that was rather turbulent, and my Diet Coke spilled.
Okay, now that's
all right.
the most horrible
thanks
flight
for bringing
ever.
us back, because I haven't breathed in the last 2 minutes. Thanks, Jimmy.
Horrible story.
Well, I'm just saying, though, it's like, I didn't mean to be serious there, but...
That's all right.
Chris is still arguing with me with the taking a dump on the Long Island Railroad thing. Saying you can't hold it in for 65 minutes. No, sometimes you...
Sometimes no, you can't hold it in for 1 minute.
Dude, there's a burger place in Manhattan. It's called...
the Burger King?
What?
Jackson Hole.
Jackson Hole. Thank you, my pal.
And the only reason that I knew this was because I can...
you can concur, or whatever.
I concur with your findings.
I once ate a burger with my buddy Jay. And it was when I was staying in a hotel when we first came to New York after being in Boston, and we went for lunch. He came to visit us. And so I said, hey, there's this burger joint I want to try, Jackson Hole. They have like 200 different burgers you could get. And any topping you can imagine is on there. Captain Crunch burger, sure, I think they
whatever.
And I am not lying to you. When I finished my final bite and swallowed, I was on a toilet with liquid explosive diarrhea. No more than 5 minutes after I swallowed the last bite. It went right through me.
Yeah, I was percolating.
There are times you cannot wait. And it happened to you too, right?
Yeah. Oof.
These burgers go right. They taste unbelievable, but they go right to you because there's so many different toppings. You don't know. You're just being silly, and next thing you know, you're throwing whipped cream on there with limes and lemons. You don't care. You're mixing up stuff that shouldn't be mixed up, and it goes right through you.
Best burgers for good farts, and they don't go through. They're delicious. White Rose System in Edison, New Jersey.
Yeah.
We're in Highland Park. You ever eat them? We used to go there after we got high and stuff.
Yep.
Those burgers. It makes me angry how good they are. They're very fattening, of course, with these sloppy treats.
Mm-hmm.
But after your last swallow, all of a sudden you hear. Let me hear. The type of fart you feel like in mid chest, heating up your plumbing. Me and Florentine, speaking of shit on the flight, flew first class. We both got upgraded on Continental. And I probably cut 75 to 80 gassers going to Vegas. It was so bad. Dumb Jim is in the bathroom, and I fucking dropped a hot, juicy one. And the fucking flight attendant went, ooh, and took a spritzer and went outside the bathroom and went, she thought Florentine shit fumes were leaking through the door. It was me in the first row.
That's great that you blame, he took the blame.
But then another flight attendant walked by and got to our row and stopped. Doubled back, got the spritzer, and went at our row. Do you understand? Probably 75 farts I cut. I've never been happier in my life. And everyone knew who was farting because there's an entire first class cabin disgusted. I'm not exaggerating. And there's two idiots holding up newspapers that are shaking with laughter.
I would be so pissed.
Dude.
First class, all nice, and you just stink the place up.
And we upgraded. That was the beauty. We paid nothing. And we're getting off the plane. You know how you got to stand there and wait. And I had a fucking Lulu brewing. I think I felt it start at the base of my neck. And it was warm, and it was gonna be bad. And Jim's like, you gotta do it. Go. Your Florentine will just never discourage you.
Yeah.
But I knew we were in line, and I knew if I farted, it was going to be putrescent, and I knew I would laugh. And I was afraid that I would actually, I swear to God, I was afraid I would lose my frequent flyer status. I was
bad over a fart.
I was afraid that they would say it was like, whatever it was, citing
a riot.
Disruptive or whatever on a plane. I didn't know what they would say. But it's probably my finest moment. But I chickened out. I'll never forgive myself.
Oh.
Jim's like, come on, man, you got to do it. Go.
Damn you.
Yeah,
you should have just let it loose.
I know. I will again.
All right.
Rise again. You haven't heard the last of me.
Well, we're up to 3 runner-ups and 1 line of the day now.
Oh, all right.
Passenger says it's the worst flight experience ever.
But to be told that we were supposed to monitor what comes out the other end of us was insulting.
But for a long flight, that tested the strongest of constitutions.
Shame on Continental. It was the worst flight experience I have ever had.
Colin says just yesterday, Continental told him that they're going to give him a $500 voucher for a future plane flight because of his inconveniences.
Stop saying plane flight, you idiot.
He's not sure he'll ever.
It's the only kind of flight you can take.
Spaceship.
They're going to give you a $500 voucher to grab a bat's cock and have it haul you to wherever you're going. Well, what else are they going to give you? A fucking kite or a spaceship? They're going to put you on the shuttle and then kick you out over Albuquerque.
A plane flight. A dirigible. Perhaps a lighter-than-air ship.
And there you have it.
Yes, I have a wedding to go to. I can't be standing around here or sitting or doing anything. I have a wedding to go to.
Who's getting married?
Dave is getting married to the lovely Casey today.
Very cool.
Down at the Hard Rock, and I will be attending, witnessing the nuptials. And I think they roped me into doing something. I have no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
I didn't dress
I'm roped into doing. Look at me. I didn't either.
Look at you.
Still wearing my hat.
And look at you. Look at me.
Yeah, look at me.
The Raging Bull.
I got it, girl.
All right, why don't we do line of the day then?
Line of the day.
Here's a runner-up line of the day.
Board on?
Is the board on?
Yeah, the board's on.
I don't think it is.
What, this thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
You got it.
I thought it came through this thing.
No, you goose.
I'm sorry. Runner-up line of the day. Okay, you got it.
Mike looks like every guy that was ever unjustly acquitted of a Klan attack.
Oh, shit! No, he didn't! Oh,
shit! Should be enjoying that one.
Oh, shit.
Got up for a no, he didn't.
Happy Juneteenth, too.
Here's another runner-up.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Jerry Springer, I'm happy I cut off my legs. She cut off her legs with a power saw.
Is that a she or a fucking he?
I don't know.
I paid that thing for head once.
But I think we might want the audio from this one.
Get this.
Look at those nubs dangling from a wheelchair. 2 nubs just kind of rocking back and forth.
Is
that a guy?
People? I don't know.
I don't know what.
Oh.
Is it one of those people that fucking has like is an amputee fetish person?
Holy shit. That is fucked up. I just get the audio for that for tomorrow, I guess. Oof.
I'm happy I cut off my legs. This could be the greatest Jerry Springer ever.
With a power saw. With a...
Really?
Yeah.
All right, here's a runner-up line of the day.
Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Opposed to an unpowered saw. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Just sit there hacking away at it with a hacksaw.
Or a seesaw.
Can only use it at sea. Excuse me. Please hold.
Or if we're on terrestrial radio, it's a seesaw because it can only be used by a woman.
Here's another runner-up line of the day. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They gave her 2 shots on Celebrity Fit Club.
Is that Blossom?
Yeah.
Oh, she needs some water.
Why are all the
late
lines
entry?
Yeah, why are they always late in the show?
A late entry. Because we phoned it in for the rest of the show. We try to come alive at the end so people walk away thinking they got something.
Yeah.
Next.
Would you like a corn chip?
No, they remind me of nasty old people's toenails. You ever see them? They look like corn chips. All thick and yellow and bumpy and curled. Yuck. No thanks.
Fucking 4 days in a row, we had to squeeze it in at the last second.
No.
Another runner-up? Runner-up line of the day.
Oh, God, is that disgusting?
You're telling me. Picture someone putting a fucking chili in a sock and jumping on it.
Yes. Bravo. That's a good one.
In hindsight, it is when you're trying to jerk off and you've paid $300.
Oh, Jimmy.
You are never to blame.
It sucks.
Wow.
I'm getting yelled at by Happy Typing Girl on Pal Talk.
Why?
She's saying, get over here. I'm looking at the Happy Typing Girl camera, and they are at the Hard Rock, back in the backstage area. I'm looking at the lovely Casey. She looks beautiful. What a beautiful bride.
All right, let's go.
And I gotta get there.
We have interviews.
And bring your check.
Yeah. Maybe she meant check.
Damn.
All right, here's your line of the
Line of the day.
Here comes
Line of the day?
Line of the day.
I knew it.
Line of the day. Line of the day.
I love that he called us a tool. I call myself a tool.
A lot of things worse.
Well, what have we been called?
Yeah, same thing.
I don't know, because no one knows you.
Darn.
Yeah, darn. There it is.
A rare victory.
That's a good one.
For the Opster. All right, let's go home.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I'm looking at camel toes, pierced nips. What the hell's going on? What kind of wedding is this going to be?
I committed.
All right.
There we go. All right, I'm on my way. Oh, love bug. All right, there we go. Everything's shut off. I gotta go. I'm going.
The pictures of the construction of our new studio are up on our website, and you're going to be updating those pictures every day.
For what?
For our Child and Virus show.
Yep. For what is it?
The Norway.
We have to. We have to do it. Will you get him on the phone?
Opie can't do that by himself.
No.
Why?
I do a lot of things by myself.
What?
What meeting with who?
Guests.
What?
Come and do it. All right, let's go. We got shit to do.
Jesus, fuck.
Stay tuned for the Eastside Dave Casey wedding with Ron and Fez at noon.